Hey, hey, hey. Ain't got no music around, no nothing. Hey, 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 hey. I know I'm late. And I am sorry. Woo. Hey, plus size baddie. Hey, Shell. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry. Hey, Willie Spencer. Hey, LP. Yeah, I'm late. I am late to the We Have the Right to Stand Your Ground party, huh? What? We have the right to stand your ground party. Hey, Clarinetta. We got the right, baby. It's 2025, and it look like they on the blue couch. Ooh, I mean, oh, I'm so glad you got thick skin, sir. I seen somebody, you talking about character assassination. They trying to assassinate you, and you got YouTube content creators mad. And I heard some intentional lying. I heard it myself, Dominique. I said, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But this is what happens. Yeah, I'm a, whew, baby. Yeah, went up on that platform to intentionally assassinate your character after seeing how great of a job you did. And I was so happy to see Bishop Eli from sunny South Dallas, Dooney the Barber, from the Cliff or West. I was just so happy to see these brothers standing with you while some trifling female trying to tear you down of the same race, while we fighting for justice for him, as if she has the authority or have as much power or clout to help you, precious. Like she really concerned about you. That was what was funny to me. She mad that you did. Let me tell you what it is, Dominique. Just in case you're listening, precious. I understand you have a background. I've seen some. You have said that you've been in prison. See, I can stand behind somebody who has owned up, took responsibility of the mistakes that you made, and then you turned yourself around. See, just like I thought that this particular person was making changes for the betterment, that trifling, manipulative, deceitful ways show this ugly face, because she lied on you. She added to the story. She did just what them people did to you, precious, and she act like she concerned about who represent you. I think your parents did good, and I know you happy, because whatever he did has nothing to do with you. And I'm glad that you and everybody else who got some sense, yeah, is able to see it. Because trust me, she ain't going to be able to do nothing for you but twerk. Okay? That's all she going to be able to do. She does not have your best interest at heart. She mad that he didn't do for her kinfolk what he did for you. Bottom line. Two different circumstances, though. See, you don't have a get over, breaking the law mentality. Yeah, always in trouble. Always going against the grain. Yeah. Yeah, two different people, two different circumstances. But that ain't how they gonna look at it. But I'm gonna call it for what it is. Hey, Reflections of Kimberly. Yeah. Yeah. She intentionally did a character assassination on somebody's platform because he did a good job in helping you. And she don't want people to give him credit. Isn't that horrible? Yeah. But I'm gonna move on past that. Shout out to all the men. I'm calling you the OG Godfathers, standing up, the OG Hood Godfather, standing up for Carmela. And then on top of that, she ain't even from the Cliffs. She ain't even from the hood. Hell, I don't even think she from Dallas. Yeah. And 98% of the people she interact with done damn near worse than what she saying your past is. Yeah. Yeah. She was cool. She ran errands. She did all type of shit for a damn hitman. They called him the boogeyman. She was all up in his head. He kept her kids. Yeah. His records, they was saying his records have pedo charges on it. Yeah. Mo 3, yeah. Yeah. How dare her, man? That's just so messed up. But she was all up in his ass every day. He was pimping her ass out. But she worried about you. And you helping him, but didn't help her family. Yeah, okay. That's how people do you. That's how people do you. And then said, we didn't want him out there no way. Well, then why you mad at him? Why you mad at this man who did an awesome job for the family? They chose him. Let's hear it. Let's talk about it. And shout out to you. We're going to start from the beginning, but I want to start right here.
And so we don't know if these people might have to move because it's already said they know where their address is. Correct. And people been threatening these people and all that. But this is what I want to say to you. You're very wise, man. I'm so glad I came on this show.
What you say, Bishop Eli?
I'm just being honest.
Hold on. What you say? He what?
Black man.
What?
Escalate.
What you say, Bishop?
Things about social media. He knows how they try to,
What you say?
And they went and said,
back that thing up.
Purchase a home, they purchase escalate. Now, this is to stop them being supported. And we all know that
we can't stand together for nothing, can
we? Lawyer fees, no, it don't.
Very wise man, ain't that what he said?
And so we don't know if these people may have to move.
Very wise. He said, "I'm glad I came. I'm glad I met. You are a very wise man." Ain't that what he said?
I want to say to you, you're very wise man. I'm so glad I came on this show with you because I really underestimate you. I'm just real. Because you're very intelligent. You're a very smart black man. Some of the things you said, you done woke me up to some stuff. So, but I got common sense to know that social media is very deceitful. That's why Trump said a lot.
Let's start from the beginning. I just wanted to start right there, where he had said, "Man, you very smart."
Of being able to
assassinate somebody's character.
Just like obliterate this.
This was so perfect. And you up here for somebody else's character.
This black child.
And somebody trying to assassinate yours for helping him.
I saw the media narratives that were coming out. He died in his brother's arm, and just the what we know as black people in America, literally the media foundation of being able to assassinate the character or just like obliterate this child.
Real life.
Yeah, everything ain't for entertainment. This somebody real life. Shout out to Bishop and his family.
Real life street stars, man. We here with another one, man. We got a very, very not only special guest in the building, but we got a very serious topic we want to speak on and try to get some, hopefully, resolution, not only for our community, Dallas-Fort Worth, for the state of Texas, not only for America, but for the world, man. And we got some very special guys, y'all. As y'all see, of course, Bishop, Eli, Pastor Eli, Dooney, the priest, the barber, and we got a very special guest that we've been wanting on this platform for a very long time. we have Derek, but I like to allow people to
said
introduce
he been
themselves.
wanting what?
So if you don't mind,
He said
let
he
me
been
just go
wanting them
down
on his
the list.
platform
Bishop,
for a very
introduce
long
yourself, and then
time.
we'll go across.
Bishop
Grab the microphone if you don't mind, sir. Just
Is that what he said? I've been wanting them on my platform for a very long time.
I'm just a young man that want to be a servant, and I just thank God.
Yeah, hit the like button.
This broadcast, have an opportunity to come before the people.
thank you.
Just doing it to preach, doing it to barber. Y'all know what's going on. Real life street star. Y'all tap in. It's about to be epic.
Sam, take off. Like,
I'm
well,
Minister Dominic Alexander, president of the Next Generation Action Network.
they ain't even want him to
Once
mention
again,
his
Dominic, thank you so much
organization.
for coming on.
I said, these
and
people
speaking.
trifling.
And we just did an interview with not only Bishop Baduni, in which we were speaking on the Carmelo Anthony Metcalf case, in which a scenario that started in Frisco, Texas, has not only taken the media by storm, but the world by storm, in which it is honestly, and we have to speak honest, seems to be causing a racial divide in not only, again, the community, but also the justice system, the judicial system. And we want to try to get some clarity, because you're very close to this case, is that correct?
Yeah.
And for those who are wondering, as far as, a lot of people, especially in the city, know when they see your face, they know exactly who you are. But for the world, can you explain your proximity to this case, if you don't mind?
Well, so the Next Generation Action Network has been brought on by the Anthony family to be the advocacy arm of this family. Our organization,
So they
for the
brought
last
you
11
on.
years, have represented so many different cases and high-profile cases here in North Texas and across the country. So our organization is literally in charge of all the advocacy and making sure people understand exactly what it is. And we try to be able to understand there's a difference between the legal ramifications and the advocacy part. Sometimes people and their concepts, they get that blended together.
And I was like,
Yeah, they get it
I
blended.
said, oh Lord.
Hold on, they get it blended, cause they think that you gonna legally represent them. They be saying he shouldn't be representing. What? What? I was just too outdone. I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. I was too outdone. Hold on. Ooh, my people. Lord have mercy. Lord, let me do it this way. Let me do something.
Family to be the advocacy arm of this family. Our organization for the last 11 years have represented so many different cases and high-profile cases here in North Texas and across the country. So our organization is literally in charge of all the advocacy and making sure people understand exactly what it is. And we try to be able to understand there's a difference between the legal ramifications and the advocacy part. Sometimes people and their concepts, they get that blended.
Absolutely.
Together. They're like, oh, are you a lawyer? No, I'm not a lawyer. I just run a human and civil rights organization. Lawyers go in the courtroom. We go out in the streets. There's two different.
Out in the streets. For justice. Now, I'm going to assume, I'm going to let my common sense work for me. Now, if y'all out there doing some stuff, acting a fool, clowning unnecessarily, lying, not being truthful, so that somebody can react on your behalf. See, I don't have to know the story to know the story. Yeah. Let me say that again. I don't have to know the story to know the story. I know the character. I know what you show me. So I already know how they out there acting. Right. Lying, want people to cut up with them. And it may be that he felt like whatever was going on, they asses may have been at fault. I don't know. But if people didn't want him and don't like him, then what's the problem? What's the problem? This man did an awesome job. And to see my people clowning character assassination, because he didn't get out there and act the fool with y'all because he black, you black, and it was a whole bunch of hoes out there on poles. Yeah, I would have turned too. I'd have left y'all asses standing out there, acting the fool, cussing and hopping like y'all finna beat somebody. Yeah, go on with that stupid shit. Yeah. So let me be the reason. Let me tell you why he probably didn't want to fool with y'all. That's why. Because y'all was out there acting a damn fool. Yeah. Let's go.
Thanks.
Correct. And for those who might question your resume, if you don't
Let's
mind,
talk
can you
about
speak on some situations, especially in the city that you were a part of? If just to
I
jog
mean,
them memory a
totally
little bit.
assassinated his
So,
character.
you know, I'm going to say this. If you talk about education, if you go in front of Carter, Roosevelt, Sappho Cliff High School, Lincoln High School, and you see O.W. Holmes or John Lewis, you can go straight in the middle of Sappho Cliff High School and you can see my name on the wall. It was because in 2015, I led the walkout, organized the kids to lead the walkout out of Sappho Cliff High School. That brought about $400 million in a racial equity lens to Dallas ISD. As a formerly incarcerated person, I tell people all the time, you don't get appointed vice chair.
Hello? Woo! Did he tell on himself, y'all? He done paid his dues. Hello? Especially with the background of some of us. I was just too outdone when I heard her on Old Boy's platform intentionally, on purpose, assassinate. I heard her add to his former charges. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. I said, oh, wow. Just when I thought that this person had grew up and was really trying to make some positive changes in their lives, I was, I know somebody in my platform in the chat right now gonna say, I told you, AunTeaFee. But I have to see it for myself. I have to see it for myself. And what I saw yesterday, yeah, I had to say, yeah, you was right. You was right. Lord have mercy. She lied on this man. I ain't saying he don't have no past. I ain't saying he didn't cop a plea. I ain't saying none of that. All I'm saying is, I heard, hey, Queen Lakers, how it's going? I heard her add to it. Add a little sauce to it on purpose. So the people would turn on him and say he didn't do a good job. Oh, I ain't know all that. Oh, I ain't. Oh, so y'all didn't know? Y'all didn't know? Oh, y'all didn't know he had something to do with some shit. She was in the comments, y'all. She was in the comments yesterday. I told y'all she was in the comments yesterday. Eyes never lie. Oh, baby, please. If you her, you a lie. You are a lie. And the truth ain't in you. Yes, you added. Yeah, you very well added to his charges. But did y'all just hear him say himself he has been formerly incarcerated? And guess what? Them people still want him on their platforms, still contact his organization to assist them, still is highly regarded. Very highly regarded. And that Tyran Eddington, we went up on the platform, friends of Rainwater, didn't know who she was talking about. and said, oh, yeah, nah, that man has passion for what he do. I admire him. I mean, yeah. Shut her down that day, y'all. Shut her ass down. And then she saw his work yesterday and started acting like she was with the Metcalfs. I said, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Baby, that spoke volumes to her character. Let's be clear. It spoke volumes to her character that at that pivotal moment in our culture where we, the people, stood up to them because he led it, you tore him down. Yeah, that was devastating to me. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't know half of the stuff I do. I know exactly what I do. King Spratt, you don't know half of the stuff you do on here. I know exactly what I do. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I know exactly what I do. Yeah, let's finish listening.
Dallas has the bond board over $3.5 billion if you ain't doing the work. So that's just anything from the community standpoint. You know what I mean? Because we've always said that the future generation of our community, I can't go in the past or go this, but I can make sure that our future is better. As a person who was born and raised in Oak Cliff, I knew it was essential to make sure that kids have possibilities and hope, right? In the civil rights space or whatever, we the one that did respond to the McKinney pool party situation that brought 25,000 people into McKinney, Texas, after a young lady named Dejaria Becton was slammed to the ground and by Officer Eric Caspo. And our organization, if you've been here in the Dallas or Fort Worth area and you saw any police brutality or Botham Jean or Tatiana Jefferson, you pretty much have saw the Next Generation Action Network work, right? Our organization also wrote the statewide missing alert system for victims of imminent danger between the ages of 18 to 64. It's called the Clear Alert. It's probably the only picture that you'll see me and Governor Greg Abbott in the same room, but it actually exists, right? So that's just a little small part of the work, significant work that the Next Generation Action Network have done.
And thank you for that work, first and foremost. I want to get your temperature of...
Can you get my lights up, please?
Would you say racism still exists?
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. If you want me to expound on that. What people don't understand in Dallas-Fort Worth, this is the place that was the largest population of the KKK. We look at this and we forget ourselves and we erase this in our mind.
Especially
that there are more
knowing
people.
our
When I started
reality
in
is totally
2014,
different.
some
Our
of the
young
people that
folks
was training me from the
it's
Southern Christian
absolutely.
Leadership Conference from Dr. King's organization, and a lot of them said that they would not even come in the 70s and 80s or in the 60s to Dallas, Texas, nor Fort Worth. This is the area where Dr. King was literally rejected by black leaders here at Dallas Love Field. These are all history. You can literally, the only living person that can attest to that, Reverend Zan Holmes, Judge Clifford Davis out of Fort Worth, one of the persons who actually was a charge over, the security of Dr. King when he came to Dallas, just recently passed, probably about 3 months ago or whatever. And yet it's embedded into the core of North Texas. And a lot of times we play with it, but it's in our fabric. We're the only place in the country that our economics and our business is literally ran by yet a citizens council that used to be called the White Citizens Council. Like the vibration of our economics is ran by what is called the Citizens Council. And all that history is of racism.
When you speak on cities like Frisco,
I deal with racism every day at work.
Prosper,
Bless you, Shank.
McKinney, a lot of people that's outside of Dallas Fort Worth, that's.
Oh Lord, Shank, I pray that God be a fence of protection around you. I'm sure it's probably, I don't know what part of town are you from. Are you in Dallas or Texas or if so, I'm definitely gonna ask God to cover you for real. Bless you. And thank you for being here.
They hear that and they were like, oh, that's where the Cowboy players go live, or that's where the Maverick players go live. That's a nice area to be in. And, as far as, the American dream, it's shared between all cultures. And as you spoke on the 14-year-old in McKinney,
shout out to
when
real,
that situation happened,
street stars.
I was working with one of the ladies that was involved
North
in that.
Dallas.
And I saw that. That's before I lived in the area. I'm like, wow, McKinney seems like it's old school. If you get what I mean, it's old school.
Yeah.
For this situation to have taken place in Frisco at a track meet, in which, of course, we have two individuals that, of course, again, one person has tragically lost their life and the other person is battling for their life. When that first came across your news feed, what was your immediate thought when you seen that storyline, that headline, before you knew the details, or if the details came to you first?
Man, I saw it and I was like, I said, oh Lord, this black child, oh Lord. No, because I saw the media narratives that were coming out. He died in his brother's arm, and just the what we know as black people in America, literally the media foundation of being able to assassinate the character or just like obliterate this child. You know what I'm saying? Like literally
on purpose,
like
intentionally.
And I think that's the
sabotage.
That's the reason why people of consciousness was like, hold on, wait a minute now. Something ain't adding up here. You know what I mean? Some because they were trying to oversell it.
Absolutely.
It was just this temp. Okay, alrighty. And then
aggressive.
What really
aggressive.
Really messed them up.
Come on, listen.
Is the family
Hunter
doing their interviews?
Yes.
That changed the game. Period.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like it was like. Okay, did I not hear this right? Did the brother just say that the boy told him to leave him alone, don't put his hands on him? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I told y'all.
Like, okay, I know a prosecutor about to tell his family to shut the, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, somebody got to be punking me, you hear me?
Yeah, ain't that what I said?
He normally was the one that get people in trouble. Like, you heard it from them.
He got his brother.
And so
hold
and
on.
it was like,
so T sippers. Did I not say it was Hunter who sealed the deal? Hunter got his brother unalived because Austin wasn't doing whatever he was doing. His brother went to rescue Hunter, and Hunter dry snitched. He snitched. He told on himself and his brother. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all that there is a possibility. You're welcome, Shane. There's a possibility. Even Judge Joe Brown agreed with me. it's a possibility that them charges may be put on Hunter. Because he initiated it. He initiated the assault by putting his hands on him. And that assault led to unaliving. And so because he started the commission of a crime, yeah. But that Hunter, he feel the same way I feel.
Okay, something's there. You know what I mean? And like I told somebody, the outrage came from the brother's interview on. Hold on, wait a minute now. Something ain't adding up here. You know what I mean? Some because they were trying to oversell it. Mm-hmm. It's just this temp. Okay, alrighty. And then what really messed them up is the family.
They messed up, y'all.
In their interviews. That changed the game, period. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, did I not hear this right? Did the brother just say that the boy told him to leave him alone, don't put his hands on him? Did I hear that right? You know what I mean? You okay, I know a prosecutor about to tell this family to shut the, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, somebody gotta be punking me, you hear me? And did he just say that he normally was the one that get people in trouble? Like, you heard it from them. Right. And so it was like, okay, something's there. You know what I mean? Right. And like Absolutely. I told somebody, the outrage came from the brothers' interview on WFAA, right? The mom and brother's interview on Fox News. And that went trickling effect. Hold on, wait a minute, pause. Literally, you said that this boy told your brother not to put his hands on, and you said that your brother did it anyway. Just help me understand. Like, I don't have to add in the words of what went on in this situation. He told you.
Right. As you state, no, even me personally, when I first saw the media run with the story, I immediately looked at
Hunter is gonna go to jail, John. He gonna go to jail for the unaliving of his brother and assault of.
I immediately, just again, the way they ran the narrative, I saw, here we go.
He did not.
Another fatherless.
Now you lying. Now you acting like that other person. Now you adding. He never said, "I'm gonna stab you." When? When, John Montgomery? Oh Lord, it's always one, ain't it? Oh, if you touch me, I'm gonna stab you. No, he did not. He did not say that. Now you making up stuff. And if that's the case, he should have been smart enough not to do it. Better. Yeah, better. Y'all get rid of him. I ain't better. Now you better go somewhere where you appreciate it. You ain't appreciated over here. I don't have to do nothing. Now you better. Shit.
Messing up society again. Here we go. Got fatherless, and they ran with that narrative to where they
in a $900,000 home. They don't need a proof for nothing.
Cameras in their face. I wonder who's this kid's
parents.
Oh,
they mad. They know it.
Does he have parents? Who raised the kid like this without him even knowing the full story?
Correct.
And as the narrative goes forward, and again, now that you're close, at what point did you come involved when they reached out to you? At what point did you reach out to them? At what point did you get involved in the scenario?
It happened on Wednesday. We got involved around 5:00 and was able to go out there. We got involved around that Wednesday happened, and then Friday we got involved and was able to go and visit the Anthony home in Frisco. And I'm telling you, when I pulled up to it, I was surprised. You know what I mean? Because I'm hearing the narrative. I don't know it. I haven't talked to him yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, until I come in here, I'm like, okay, all right, I got my
they mad that they law is gonna turn on them.
Text message, I say, they say, hey, let us know when you at the gate. I said, okay. I got the text message and QR code. I said, oh, this is a gated community. Okay, what's going on? Okay, all righty. All right, I thought I was going to some hoodlums that they said. You know what I mean?
Right,
I thought
right.
I was going to the, you know what I mean? I didn't know what was going on.
You
know
thought
what
you
I
was
mean?
finna
I
go
thought I was
to
going
the
an apartment,
hood.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. But slowly go in there, man, and I see this amazing father, and I see this amazing mother, and their kids and their family here, and I'm like, okay, alrighty now, literally. But it just shows us what America at its core truly believe about the black child. The black child automatically has to come from a single family home, has to be coming from something deranged or whatever it may
Dysfunctional.
be, right? It gotta be like why
It has to be
in America
dysfunctional.
do our children have to automatically come from something of significant less, right? Why did you put this depiction over this 3.7 GPA boy that literally has over 21 pending scholarship offers? You know what I mean?
People will tell you statistics will show.
So the
He
reality
did what needed to be
is
done
that
to defend himself. I
understand,
agree.
those statistics are a jet reminder of yet racism in their policies that they have put over our communities in so many different ways. But in these moments, they show Black America what they truly think about us because of that stereotype that before they even did their own research. Now, this family, now they can't even deal with it.
Yeah, they trying to
Because they realize
railroad.
now, oh, this kid didn't come from what we said it was. We didn't do our research. This kid,
You
his
unfollowed
parents
that?
actually
Yeah,
got
I didn't
the
watch
audacity
her.
to
I
fight
already
for
knew that
Correct.
she was gonna come off wrong.
it. You know what I mean?
The way
So-
she be,
So,
yeah, I already
and
knew
we're
it.
gonna be jumping around and talking about a couple of different things, but I really want to kind of speak.
And
on
you know what?
I feel
Now that I'm thinking about it, the person who was assassinating Dominique Alexander loves Nancy Grace. She loves her. So those her characteristics are similar. Yeah. Very similar. Character assassination.
started this kind of even bigger racial divide is when they seen the Black community support one of their own.
Correct.
When it comes to needing funds for legal fees and starting a GoFundMe, putting an amount, and
Y'all get the
people
likes
always joke
up.
with the Black community about
Stand your
GoFundMe, like
ground,
not having life insurance,
and or
a
self-defense
GoFundMe
is
gets started for
yeah.
someone passing away, and they're needing $3,000.
If you don't
They
want
put a certain
nobody to
amount for
stand
legal
your
fees, and
grounds,
not
keep
only
your
did
hands to yourself.
the community come in and show, not only support but surpassed the expected, what their goal was. They surpassed it. A lot of people were upset about why are we victimizing someone who has taken a life. Just seeing that alone, just give me your take as far as what that showed you, or what your take on that is.
Well, as a person who is the president of a human and civil rights organization, and knowing what happened in November and seeing the current occupant, the Grand Wizard that sits in 1600 Pennsylvania, I was literally like, Bishop, man, I think Black folks sleep. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, as a person on the front lines, like, hey, man, our people gonna lose rights that they never knew they had when they lose them. You know what I mean? And we going back and forth on social media.
Because they
talking
just
about
pop off and don't do no
2025,
research.
This is that and the third. And people
Take
talking
things for
about it.
granted.
And I got Black folks looking at me talking about, hey, our Project 2025 ain't real. Trump said it. And first thing he do is put the co-chair as the Office of Budget and Finance. So the reality is that I was sitting here and was like, man, I don't know what we're going to do, man. We're going to have to educate these people. You know what I mean? We're going to have to educate these people. But to see Black America come out for this baby and show up like, man, I've had people call me from California, New York, Minnesota, like literally, like, hey, the link here, what can you send me the link? Can you email me this? Can you do this or whatever? Like overwhelming support. Like people like black women literally saying, no, I didn't send this through every contact in my phone. Baby, everybody's finna send and put some money on this. You know what I mean? Like people taking the initiative to spread this fund out. And all I say is this, right? Is I always tell people this. Years ago, I said we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people, right? And so the reality is that I'm not going to ask white America for yet permission to yet protect. Can yet say self-defense. Our black child has the ability, right? These laws were not created for just some. They were created for all, right? The Constitution should apply for just all, not just some, right? And so if Human and Civil Rights Organization and knowing what happened in November and seeing the current occupant, the Grand Wizard that sits in 1600 Pennsylvania, I was literally like, Bishop, man, I think black folks sleep. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, as a person on the front lines, like, hey, man, our people gonna lose rights that they never knew they had when they lose them. You know what I mean? And we going back and forth on social media, talking about Project 2025 and this is that and the third, and people talking about, and I got black folks looking
Well, he
at me
gonna
talking
give
about,
me a
hey,
PPP
Project
loan.
2025 ain't real. Trump
Ain't no
said,
president ever
first
gave us
thing you
nothing
do
before.
is put the co-chair as the Office of Budget and Finance. So the reality is that I was sitting here and was like, you know, man, I don't know what we're going to do, man. We're going to have to educate these people. You know what I mean? We're going to have to educate these people. But to see black America come out for this baby and show up like, man, I've had people call me from California, New York, Minnesota, like literally, like, hey, the link here, what can you send me the link? Can you email me this? Can you do this or whatever? Like overwhelming support. Like people like black women literally saying, no, I didn't send this through every contact in my phone. Baby, everybody's finna send and put some money on this. You know what I mean? Like people taking the initiative to spread this fund out. And all I say is this, right? Is I always tell people this. Years ago, I said we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people, right? And so the reality is that I'm not going to ask white America for yet permission to yet protect or defend one of ours. You get what I'm saying? And so the realization is that sometimes black America, yet we don't understand that we look at things from a colonialized lens, and that messes us up from one standpoint, right? Is that if their white child can yet say self-defense, our black child has the ability, right? These laws were not created for just some. They were created for all, right? The Constitution should apply for just all, not just some, right? And so if anybody got
They
something
left it
to
on the
say
books.
about that, be quite honest with you, Minister Dominique Alexander, I say go to hell. The reality is that I'm not finna ask you okay or permission or ask you to defend my black boy up in this community when I literally saw in the aftermath of George Floyd, a 17-year-old child with an AK-47 and literally executed 3 people, shot 2 of them in the back, and yet he was able to walk away with self-defense and raise more than $2 million.
Not supposed to shoot
What
him in the
did
back.
Black America do? Whatever. Hey, the court of law spoke or whatever it may be. And so the only thing we're asking you to do is respect that same process that Black America respected, right? And so
Not
if you
supposed
raised
to
it
hit
for the
shoot 'em
white
in the
boy,
back.
we can raise it for the black boy. You know what I mean? And we ain't asking you for permission to raise those funds, right? Because at the end of the day, Carmelo didn't later on claim self-defense. He claimed self-defense from the moment he done it. That was literally in the affidavit. It wasn't nothing that he arrived 2 days later. He literally said it from the moment. It's in the police affidavit of what Carmelo Anthony said when they put the handcuffs on him. He said in statement on the affidavit, is he okay? All right? Meaning that he didn't premeditate, he didn't intend,
Absolutely.
he didn't do none of that.
Come on.
And it was self-defense is
Absolutely.
what Carmelo Anthony said. That's all I want people to understand.
Nobody put
right?
it in his
But
head.
even like people asking me, you know, a lot of different things. And this case is very interesting because I always tell people all the time, it's hard for us to talk about a lot of the details in the case because a lot of the witnesses are minors. And so, you know what I mean, it's only so much we
So
can
that means,
say.
y'all, they got
To literally
several.
say, hey, man, sit back,
They
stand
got
by,
several.
and look at us in court, right? And so
They got
that's the
several.
only thing. But we cannot, as Black people, allow them to give us permission.
And it's
to rise up.
it's compliments of honor. Thank you
Everything
very
about
much.
us is under attack right now. Everything, our classroom, everything. We can't even talk about our own history.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the reality is, if I died today, the stuff that I've shared with you, what NGAN has done for Dallas, can't even be taught in a Texas classroom right now. It can't tell my story because I'm Black. And this is teaching DEI. This is teaching critical race theory. And so when people see the outrage, it's because what are we sleeping under a rock?
Come on.
The man is in the White House, man. The man is in the White House, man. The man literally said, man, I remember one statement, man. I told somebody, man, this dude here, man, this is crazy. I remember when the plane crashed, the next day and the media was sitting in the Oval Office, and that fool they say you gonna pay visit to the water area where the plane crashed, and the dude literally looked at them and say, what I'm gonna do out there? Go swimming?
Yeah.
I said, man, listen, man, it's terrible. Listen, man, it's over. Like, man, it's over with, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to picture Obama saying that. I'm like,
Man, they would have blew the house, man, recall, like everything. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta keep it honest. He may say crazy stuff. I like it. You gotta keep it honest. You know, he real about what he says. So, you know, I like real.
oh yeah, no, he's blunt. But I'm like, man, you gotta sometimes shut it off.
But in his bluntness, people like literally stand naive to it.
Yeah.
Like understand what we have. Like you got people talking about, like, you know, it's just the reality.
What
of
does
racism
blunt
and
mean?
bigotry.
I mean, so
And they
he
know how to
blunt.
play into us. They know how to put narratives into us, right?
Yeah.
It's just like today, TMZ publish out. Over the last couple of days, 48 hours, we've been literally having to respond to false narratives from your homegirl, Nancy Grace, and all of them, you know what I mean, about the family purchasing an $800,000 home, the Escalade, and all this different types of crazy stuff, right? From these right-wing things. The reality is this. The family haven't even got access to $1 of that fund.
I want people to know this because I had to go through the same thing when my mother passed, my stepmother passed, and people think that the GoFundMe just pays. It's a bank. You can just withdraw with a debit card. Not only once you meet the budget, it still takes a while to authenticate the funds and then send it to the correct person.
So let me give people an understanding. Okay, so when we started this fund, and I can't even tell you the platform, what is it? Stand Now Go? Whatever it is. I remember the person who
Oh, you
The
right,
platform
LP.
actually
Hunter's
became
story
very
done
popular
changed several times.
when the guy was it Lucy whatever guy, the guy that killed the healthcare executive, right?
Yeah, Luigi Macchione.
Luigi, right? And so he raised more than 2 million.
Yes.
And so this was a platform. So this is a platform that don't discriminate against people raising for legal defense. GoFundMe, you can't raise for legal defense. So when it first happened, there were a couple of GoFundMe accounts that were set up. Those were all fraud. The family never set those up. One of those GoFundMes went up to almost $11,000. And then when we literally reported them, and then the conservative media like GoFundMe deleted all the accounts. Dude, we never set those accounts up, right? And so, mind you, we set up this platform, right? And you raise the money. And I always tell people all the time, when you raise a significant amount of money in these platforms, so I can set up something for you in your church, right? And then what happens is you can come days later and go.
Y'all gonna get the lights up? Oh.
Right? And so it just takes a process. People think you set it up and this and the third. And so what TMZ called, we gave the platform the permission to talk to anybody, particularly about the campaign. TMZ called today and said, no, the family has not withdrawn nothing. Now, the crazy part is, it's just at like 1 and 2 o'clock, the family got notification just today that they can now withdraw. That takes 2 to 3 business days to even hit your account when you can withdraw from the fund.
Why
right?
do people have to go through all this explanation?
But the part was,
are they gonna antagonize what the other
Black America
family
has to understand, man? We cannot use their platforms
donations processes? That's crazy.
People. You get what I'm saying? People like this, like brother, the platform that you
Hey, Kawana,
gotta be the vehicle that we get our damn information from. They cannot
48
dictate or guide the information, and then we get people saying, "Hey, man, the news meet this person." Then said, "Man, hey, man, listen, I told somebody yesterday when they sent me an article, I said, man, I ain't never heard of this damn platform a day in my life. I won't dignify it with a response." You get what I'm saying? It's like they know it. But the problem is, it's not about telling the truth. It's about discouraging people from giving to that fund. Because if you get 10 people, about the rate of it, about 1 or 2 or 3 of them gonna believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? And so if you can do that, one post with this disinformation on X or whatever they call it, literally had 14 million views. Escalade that ain't even, first of all, this daddy drive a Chevy.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like this is stupid, man.
Disinformation.
Why would he go buy an Escalade?
This is what got like
It sound like
it literally.
He's
it literally
a finance
testified
car
in court.
manager.
I work for Chevrolet.
Yeah.
oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like,
So can we speak on it because they did have to, or I don't want to say they had to, but they did move.
they haven't moved.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say, and I'm just because as I'm speaking for the people that's watching.
Yeah, correct.
What I got was some people saying, "Oh, they bought a new house," or "No, they're renting a house." They have to, basically move around. Can you provide what exactly took place and why they relocated, if they plan to relocate?
So it's crazy because let me tell
Why
you,
do
bro,
we
one
have
of the
to
things
know
I
this?
told somebody, I said one of the big disservice was that bond hearing was not
Publicized.
recorded, right? So that people can see it. Because it took all these reporters, because I'm like, was I not in the room? Like, this man literally said, I currently live where we have not moved. My lease is up in June. We will have to relocate. The judge said, when you do, let us know, notify us, and we'll do a conference to where it doesn't have to.
Your favorite TV shows are on YouTube.
Yeah, hit the like button.
Releases.
To where it doesn't have to be publicized or the address, right? This family has not moved. They stayed in the same home they stayed in when this occurred. The reality, they have not moved at all. They have not purchased a home. I hope that this family can purchase them a home because I fundamentally believe that black families should be able to get out of this rent race. But as to the volume or the value of these people's home, the
Pressure. Now, okay. I don't care about breaking rules. I'm talking about the law. The law. See, this is the problem, Big Pressure. You okay with breaking the law? You don't. So you are minimizing the law. You see how you're doing that? You see how you manipulate? That's very deceptive. The law says he has the right to unalive. In Texas, the law says you have the right to unalive someone who threatens you, put their hands on you. That's what the law says. So don't tell me nobody don't have the right to take somebody's life. The law says, yes, you do. If there's unwanted touching, threatening. So don't be mad or don't come to me about a rule when the law supersedes a rule. Come on now. The law say, repeat after me, you can unalive somebody who touch you, harm you at any point that you feel threatened. The law in Texas says you can unalive them. It don't say by using a knife, a gun, a brick, a dumbbell. It does not say what type of object you use. So don't come to me saying nothing to me when this young man followed the law. And the other two boys broke the law. Not the rule, but the law. Talk to me about the law. See, you got me thinking that you don't like the law and you like rules over the law. So that means you will break a law. Yeah, that's what they're saying, Pressure. Yeah, but it's the law, though. So the law supersedes a rule. No.
talking about they purchased an $800,000 home. They currently live in a home that they lease that is valued at $800,000.
And on top of that, they done changed the story. Hell, before it's over, what you think happened out they mouth ain't gonna be what done happened.
Deception.
Deception.
They don't understand how it operates. Once they control the mind of the people that see social media, they don't understand it's all a seed planted to put in your head. First of all, they didn't show where they went to court for the bond. They did that intention. It's nothing done on accident.
He followed the law.
That they purchased a home.
And at this point,
now this is to stop them being supported.
yeah, you have a better chance on betting me if they gonna put that murder charge on Hunter, since Hunter admitted to it.
We don't know how long the trial gonna last, and so we don't know if these.
That's why that man is triple double. That's why he took his "I forgive you" back.
And threaten people, threaten these people, and all that. But this
He took that "I forgive you" back, didn't he? When he found out the Hunter ass is in trouble and possibly liable.
I'm just real. Because you're very intelligent. You're a very smart black man. Some of the things you said, you done woke me up.
And that his testimony is gonna be what's gonna be used to get him off with self-defense. Hell you mean?
Say a lot of things about social media. He knows how they try to, put him in a situation. But it's good that you are here because now you open the eyes of the people. Because I've heard some black people, I'm just gonna be honest. They didn't even control their mind. And they said he must have did something. He must have done something.
Pressure. His name is Pressure, Bishop.
It's got to be more to it. No, it ain't.
Pressure, big pressure. Hold on. Bishop Eli. His name is Big Pressure. Yeah. He cannot accept the fact that the little young African American kid followed the law. And Hunter, the twin, testimony, collaborated that. And he gonna get off. Compliments of Hunter.
Being put in that situation, you don't even know what you go through. Matter of fact, I was on the show talking to Joker how I was bullied and how it turned me to a monster and how it caused me to protect my family, protect my kids, protect my brother and sister. So when people holler about was he being bullied, I'm just gonna ask you a question. It just common sense. Then they said he a murderer. All these things they doing. Do you know what a murder is? A murder is somebody who premeditate and kill somebody intentionally. That's a murder. Why does social media call them a murder? I'm gonna tell you why they doing it. They already know if they put this in the people's mind, it'll turn their back on them. It'll make them say, "Oh, he's a murderer. He's a killer." Here's a young man, educated, got straight A student in a good neighborhood, and you are trying to tell me, I'm a pastor. Let's keep it real. I have compassion for the young man lost life. Dominique has compassion, but you know why you here? You like to bring out the facts. We are closed-minded because we listen to what social media is saying. So automatically, they said it's
talking to you.
A race card. We're not putting a race card. We putting the true card. Stop using race as a color.
We got Texas has to stand your ground law.
Somebody saying every time black
the
folks
twins broke the law.
they
Absolutely.
want to put a race card. Where they come from, So, but we so close-minded.
But yeah, they did. But somebody died.
Nancy Grace.
Nancy homegirl, man. You know who that is.
I'm so sick of her, and I'm a pastor. She lies so much. This woman lies so much. She's controlled the mind of the people. She dress up. She not even gonna apologize after she find out that they didn't get no Escalade. They ain't paid for no. She's not gonna come back on the show and say I lied. But it's this is what she's doing. All we're telling y'all, before you judge the situation, I'm talking about black folks too, because I've heard them say, what he doing with this? What he doing with that?
Yeah.
Let somebody bully you. I've been bullied before. I've been bullied. I used to didn't want to, when school was out, me and my brother and sister, we used to try to wait and make sure everybody gone. When we come to school, we was worrying about somebody picking on us. But if you never been bullied, you don't know what they do to you mentally. You don't know what it caused you to become. You don't know what it caused you to be scared. And watch this. You can't say what a person can't do or what he should have done if you ain't in the situation. If somebody bully you in a situation, you already know the mindset. Somebody tell you, hey, you know, and I wasn't there. If you don't move, I'm gonna move you. That's a gangster to me. That sounds like a gangster to me. But my thing is, and I'm saying this here, because one thing I like about what you said is that the people got to understand the whole plan of what they're trying to do to control our mind. They're trying to get people to stop funding them, stop getting the truth out. They just want to already make a prejudgment. Hear this boy, he took a life. Yeah, we understand that. Correct. But did he do it intentionally? Did he did it out of, he went to school and he just a gangster, he want to just start something? No. Yeah. Let's look at the whole situation. Let's look at the root of the problem. And the root of the problem, you wasn't a coach. I'm just being honest. You wasn't a school teacher. You didn't own the tent. What give people authority or feel like I can walk up to
entitlement?
You? I'm 17, you 17, and I'm gonna tell you, hey, let's be real about it. Hey, move from under this tent. No. If you don't, I'm gonna move you. Let's be real, people. Let's look at life for real. That's not right. It's none of it's good. But at the same time,
that was the first threat right there.
The shoe was flipped over. Let's be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. Say there was a black guy. I'm just being honest. And you was a white guy. And I come to you.
Yes, you do, President. You have the right of freedom of speech and opinion. I don't care about what y'all think about. Oh, I think you're a cool cat. I just think that you intentionally
stabbed me and you took my
poking
life.
at me.
You think that we'll be sitting on the couch talking about the same stuff? Let's be honest. Let's be real. You think it'll be like, well, this guy was protecting himself. We understand. Everybody accept. You know what they'll be saying?
Y'all know y'all got to get the likes up. He talking to you, Pressure.
If the shoe was flipped over, let's be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. Say there was a black guy. I'm just being honest. And you was a white guy. And
oh yeah, they be hitting him with capital murder.
You said make me or no, I'm not finna move. I said, okay, you ain't gonna move, I'm gonna move you. In the process of me moving you, and you actually stabbed me and you took my life. You think that we'll be sitting on the couch talking about the same stuff? Let's be honest. Let's be real. You think it'll be like,
oh no.
Well, this guy was protecting himself. We understand. Everybody accept. You know what they'll be saying? Yeah. This black guy, he done went to this guy and he got stabbed and this guy was defending himself. Yeah.
He was aggressive. You know the black people are aggressive.
I'm not
and yeah, he
I
was
don't like none of it.
Yeah.
But
all types of things.
We're not playing no black card, no white card. This guy, and I'm just asking you, what do you think about him asking or forcing him? Did he have the right to go and tell them move from under the tent? That's what the mindset. Somebody said that the tent belonged to them, the guys.
Well, let me say this, Bishop. We can't pull a race card. We can't pull something that is our reality or what we live 24/7, 365 days of the year, right? It's our reality, right? You can't pull the race card. I just want white folks standing in front of a camera in 2025 after 400 years of slavery telling black folks when they can talk about racism and yet bigotry, yet just shows us that we have not addressed this conversation of racial reconciliation in this country, right?
Mm-hmm. It's still a problem.
Like the fact that you feel like you can tell me when I can call it out, it's just problem number one. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? So I see the daddy saying, anybody bringing race and factor and this, that, and third. Yo,
He's already
son got
saying
the coverage that he got because he was white. You know
absolutely.
What I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you're mad at me saying that, then I'm just gonna tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying? Anybody knows that. But the reality is this, is that all I can say, because that stretched me right there, Bishop, is all I can say is that you have to be a cruel individual to your police a tent in the middle of a storm, rain, and everything, and want somebody to step out of the tent to be rained on. Okay, that's the part. Like, we know it was raining, thunderstorming, and all that type of stuff, right? Okay, it's like we
That's
won't
what-
delay that, right? You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, let's make that perfectly clear right there.
It was raining.
Everybody go back and pull the race card. I just want
Dang, it went back too far.
white folks standing in front of a camera in 2025 after 400 years of slavery to step out of the tent to be rained on. Okay, that's the part. Like, we know it was raining, thunderstorming, and all that type of stuff, right? Okay,
That's bullying.
It's like we won't underlay that, right? You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, let's make that perfectly clear right there.
It was raining.
Everybody go back Wednesday and Thursday. It was both days.
You want him to get from under.
All of the kids ran to the tent because
Oh, wow.
it was raining.
All the kids.
This wasn't the only child. He wasn't the only child from another school that was under this tent.
I told y'all he was talking to another.
That's bullying.
Okay, so that just lets you know that's just
That's
it.
from the church
So,
side. That's bullying.
but at the end of the day, I always tell people, I tell people this, that's
Okay, y'all. Are we? So okay, and so okay, he gave us something. So what y'all hear? All of them, a whole bunch of them, ran up under the tents. He was not the only one. Tea sippers, are y'all still with me? Hello. Are y'all still here? Give me a 1 if you can still hear me. So he was singled out. It was coming down, and Hunter turned around. Wow. Hey, plus, hey. Oh, wow.
That's as much as I can go into details of it, because of course there are so many different minors that are involved in the situation.
Video camera.
They got many things, but of course for the safety of these kids. Okay, that's the part. Like, we know it was raining, thunderstorming, and all that type of stuff, right? Okay, it's like we won't underlay that, right? You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, let's make that perfectly clear right there.
It was raining.
Everybody go back Wednesday and Thursday. It was both days.
You want him to get from under.
All of the kids ran to the tent because it was raining.
Wow.
This wasn't the only child. He wasn't the only child from another school that was under this tent. Okay.
He was trying to make that bullying.
Okay, so that just lets you know that's just
That's
it.
from the church
So,
side. That's bullying.
but at the end of the day, I always tell people this.
Pressure.
That's as much as I can go into.
It ain't looking good for you,
There
Pressure.
are so many different minors that are involved in the situation.
It ain't looking good for you.
Many things, but of course for the safety of these kids. Because
It's like, yeah, everybody want the answers and different things of that nature. And I tell people all the time, if I haven't been able to verify, talk to, or look, you know what I mean, I would not be on this case. But I cannot, even though as an advocacy, I can't litigate this case in the court of public opinion, right? But the reality is I just point out a nugget.
I know you.
What do you think? If I sit here and me and him say, don't go out there, man. Don't go. What you got, man? That's cruel. It's raining. It's literally a cloud that look like there's a tornado possibility. First off, you think about it and say, well, why didn't Frisco ISD postpone a council to track meet? What track meet you know go in the rain? Okay. What track meet you know when it go raining on the thing? What can be done? What long jump? Carmelo was on long
Hey,
jump.
that again.
What could he do?
What's the 9?
The guy feel like he have authority. That's what getting in some people's mind.
Well,
Make him think he have authority.
Well, the reality is
you need to get off on the tent. I'm the chief.
Tent.
I'm the gangster.
Tent patrol.
Sound like a gangster.
Yeah.
That sound like a gangster. If I come and tell you
Tent
I'm a
patrol.
tent that don't belong to me, I'm putting myself.
It don't even belong to him.
Bishop, white privilege is real.
White privilege, entitlement is
So,
real.
I want to ask because
Bottom
this is
line.
Also, like you said, there was no cameras in the bond hearing, and
Entitlement is
they were
real.
very upset, and I believe
I was
Mr.
just
Anthony has
messing
stated,
around with
they raised up money where they don't need a bond.
How you doing,
Reduction,
stranger
but the judge
danger?
Was keen to grant a bond reduction. This is a black judge that spoke over this from what I saw. And it seems like she has now taken the brunt of a lot of racist attacks based on just her judicial decision, in which, again, like you said, law shouldn't be blind. Law should be blind.
And let me say this so I can get people to understand what this woman said in court and what the prosecutor and what the dad said. The dad was the only person that testified on Carmelo Anthony's behalf.
This video will
there
vindicate.
were more than 9 people who were entered as possibilities of
Obviously.
people who would testify, right? But Andrew Anthony was the only person who took the stand, all right? Nobody else took the stand in this whole entire bond here, okay? What the prosecutor did was he entered into the record the 2 documents and the copy of the fund, right? And entered it in the record. And the dad said, I don't have access to that. He said, well, if you think, don't you think that, in Texas, when you bond, it takes 10%. So that's 100,000. When you have 100,000 to bond your son out, the dad said yes. Now, if anybody know in the legal world, getting a $1 million bond, you ain't finna just pay that $100,000 for the most high risk bond there is. That bond is normally gonna probably cost 20%, right? Which is 200 property and good credit. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a $1 million bond is probably the highest risk bond there probably is. You know what I'm saying? So like you're not getting that, but you asking this daddy that you don't know the answer. They like, okay, yeah, we had it. But the reality is that wasn't the case. They don't have access to this fund. But the judge was like, I don't care about a fund. The part is does this bond, is it justified under law?
Under law.
Determined that it
There go
wasn't.
there
And what
there,
the judge
there go
said
that
was,
word.
if I don't give it to him,
Oh, there go that word again. Woo-hoo. Law. The law. That law supersedes the law, don't it? Yeah. If I don't give it to him, yeah, by law, she be in trouble. Yeah, she will be unjust by law. Not by how she feel, but by law. Yeah. Y'all better.
he would literally get it in an appeal. Because what it will do is that the prosecutor said that the bond should match the dignity of the loss. And the judge said, no, that's not how bonds work.
That's right.
Bonds are literally assessed.
See how they
based
tried
on
to
the
make the rule?
ability of the person being
Ooh.
able to go to court, right?
Ooh.
And so
You see how they
there
tried
are
to do that,
factors
y'all?
that are given into bond. Is this person is this person a person that is a risk to the community, threat to the community? Does this person has a support system? Does this person have? Do we have a criminal history? A number of different factors.
Right.
And so let's say this. Is Carmelo Anthony a risk to the community? There's nothing that you can contribute to.
Well,
say
the
that
Hunter
he
boys
is
are,
a
'cause they
risk
bullies.
to the community.
Come on.
They like to assault
Do
people.
he have priors?
Come on.
Do he have support? All of these are bond contribute. The allegation against him is not a bond factor, but only in America. You know what I mean? Do people feel like, that's why I always tell judges all the time, don't apologize when somebody get out on bond and then they go in and commit a crime or do whatever, because at the end of the day, the factors that you are contributing are totally different. You know what I'm saying? They are totally different. So this woman literally, based on these factors, said that this bond should be $250,000. Now let's sit back. When Jordan Edwards was killed by Roy Oliver, he got a $300,000 bond.
Mm-hmm.
When Amber Geiger killed Botham Jett in his home, she got a $200,000 bond. When Aaron Dean killed the Tatiana Jefferson, he got a $250,000 bond. Make hell make sense. You know what I'm saying? Make something.
And this murder.
Make something make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so please help me understand. Like, a judge is supposed to literally say, is this
Right.
a consistent practice? Is this fair? Is this violating his rights? And at the end of the day, a woman lowering a bond of $250,000 for a 17-year-old that has not been in trouble before, from $1 million. And mind you, we all know, first of all, this case has not even been indicted.
Yes.
So
They trying to find
really,
something.
in the Texas.
They really are trying to
This
find
really not a
something,
case
y'all.
yet, until it's indicted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This really not a case. This is an accusation. This
Mm-hmm.
is a cause
Come on.
that is yet being filed in the court. It's not a. It's not. It hadn't went in front of a grand jury.
Educate us.
Yeah.
We don't know whether it's going to grand jury, but the reality is.
Are we clear, y'all? I mean, because he telling us how it TI is. It ain't even a case yet. That's why they trying really, 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 really hard to make something pop up that's going to indicate that Carmelo Anthony started it. They trying really, really, really hard. If it was just automatic, if they had the evidence, he would have been indicted by now. He would have been indicted by now. But them witnesses are not collaborating, Hunter. Yeah. And now we finding out that a whole bunch of folk from different schools ran up under that tent. Oh, yeah, because they got to have the evidence to present to the grand jury before the grand jury indict. Woo! It's not looking good for Hunter. The Metcalfs, yeah. And I'm sorry, rest in peace, Austin. But look like right now, Hunter gonna take Hunter, cause he initiated per Hunter. It came out of his mouth. So it's just the case. It has not been indicted. Ooh, Lord. They mad that the law is on our side. Ooh. You said especially in Texas, all those witnesses are saying the same thing. It's a wrap. And they cannot believe that those kids in Frisco are not lying for Hunter. And they are backing this African-American kid. And they being told that Hunter was the initiator, the aggressor. He was the reason for the attack. And he may have to take those charges because they grabbed his bag and they assaulted him. Oh, yeah, they sick, y'all. They sick. I'm telling you.
This is that there are going to be some factors. Was this premeditated? No. Was this should be $250,000? Now let's sit back. When Jordan Edwards was killed by Roy Oliver, he got a $300,000 bond. Mm-hmm. When Amber Geiger killed Botham Judd in his home, she got a $200,000 bond. When
Yeah, I need the
Aaron
likes up.
Dean
Come on, get the likes.
He got a $250,000 bond. Make hell make sense. You know what I'm saying? Make something.
And this murder.
Make something make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like so please help me understand. Like a judge is supposed to literally say, is this
Right.
a consistent practice? Is this fair? Is this violating his rights? And at the end of the day, a woman lowering a bond to $250,000 for a 17-year-old that has not been in trouble before, from $1 million. And mind you, we all know. First of all, this case has not even been indicted.
Yes.
So really, in the Texas code, this really not a case yet until it's indicted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This really not a case. This is an accusation. This is a cause.
That's
that
powerful
can't
right
be
there,
filed
y'all.
in the court. It hadn't went in front of a grand
Hey,
jury.
Vicky.
We don't know whether
That's
it's
powerful
been
right there,
grand
y'all.
jury, but the reality is
He just been
that there are
charged.
gonna be some factors.
There ain't no
Was this
case.
premeditated? Nope. Was this all this stuff? So capital and murder one ain't gonna be. So we know that this case probably is not even. There's probably an 80% chance that this case is probably not even going to be indicted on a first degree
Absolutely.
felony, right? And so the reality is that people saying this, it's like
That's why they want to keep pushing
I got some
it
people
out
like,
there.
I had a post where it was like Dominic Alexander and Judge Tucker they know each other and this is that and the third and let me say that they you know, this is a leftist judge and all this. Here is a woman. I run a human and civil rights organization, okay? This is a woman that's been a Republican for over 30-something years. Been an elected judge for over you know what I'm saying? Probably wouldn't never come to an NGAN rally.
And
You know what I'm saying?
she just did what's right.
Nothing that involves.
She just followed the law.
But the reality is what they are showing.
She just followed the law.
No matter the politics, you still a what? Come on.
Black man.
No. Bishop, go on, let it out to you. Come on, let it out to you, Bishop. Come on, Bishop. We on real life production. We on real life production. Say what it is. Say. No. Come on now. Tell them, man. Tell Black America what they say. No matter your political affiliation, no matter whether you've been a Republican for 30-something years, Bishop, you still a nigga. You're still a nigga. You still a nigga. And mind you, people don't wanna but man, I was born to a mother that was 13. So the woman that raised me was born in 1926. And let me say this quick. I always tell people all the time, and I try to speak truth to power when it comes to racism, is that you reminded as a Black woman in America, no matter your political affiliation, according to the white man, you still a nigga bee.
Well, let me say this, because some people gonna be thinking that we're not saying all white folks is racist. We're not saying that. We're talking about the one.
Bishop. Stop trying to explain to people the difference. That's what I want people to understand. Stop trying to explain to people and tell people we ain't talking about you. Hey, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. You know, I know good people. Hell, my personal attorney is white or whatever, and hell, I take up before a bunch of these fools that depend on you know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, we ain't talking about the ones that know that we're not talking about them. You don't even have to say that to him, Bishop.
I want to say this, Dominique, because he's very smart. My God, but he said some things that I know a lot of people need to hear. Because one of the things that folks talk about is when you tell the truth. I had a pastor. I'm just gonna be honest, and he said this guy he shouldn't been under 10, which is crazy. And I said, what you mean that he shouldn't be under 10? He said, it wasn't his 10. Were they at a school or were they at a track field? What was it, Dominique? Because everybody's saying
That was at a track meet or whatever. And it belongs to the school. And at the end of the day, all we can do is like, you know, like, man, everybody coming up with these different things, these different concepts and different point of view. The point of the fact is that you had a child policing a tent in the middle of a storm and a rain. And if you think that is okay, then the problem is with you.
Mm-hmm. But
I agree.
In that. And doing it, Freeze, what you feel about the whole situation?
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with Dominique, but I'm gonna say this, man. When it comes to our country itself, we have to pray for not only President Trump, but all the leaders of the land, and that's what we do, because it's not a black thing, neither is it a white thing, but we should do the right thing. That's what my prayer is. So I would say this: may God bless America. May God bless your families. And may God bless the world in peace. And so I think with the knowledge that we're sharing today, that the truth is going to come out, and we are jumping ahead of the narrative that one would put out on social media. And so, yeah.
When you said the truth already been put out. Listen to Dominique and
Oh yeah, we pretty much know
You're
it.
watching a toothbrush.
Cause Hunter told us.
But did you know that there's a YouTube Music app where you can...
the truth already been put out. Listen to Dominique and the fact, the thing that it said. And here's the thing, though.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're putting the truth out now.
That's why I want
Right.
you to understand that this young man, and I'm for what's right, he didn't go to that place looking for trouble. He didn't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be a gangster today. He didn't go there, did not know that this young man was going to come intentionally
Facts.
try to move him from a tent. Y'all got to get this. It was raining outside. Everybody, we have compassion. And this, when you look at somebody's life being taken, you only look at that point, but you don't look at what caused this to happen.
Absolutely.
You're looking at what happened, but you don't look at what caused it to happen. I think that if this young man never, just my opinion, would have never went and tried to force this guy from under the tent.
Force.
Let's look at it. And not only tell him, but put your hand on it. I just want to be honest. I don't think that's right. Not only that, what gives you the authority to make you feel that you can do that? Here's the problem with the whole thing. And I was telling this pastor this year. He had no authority. He said, so that means that he had the right to do what he did to the kid? No. He didn't intend, this is my opinion, he didn't intend to try to kill him. That's not what happened. What he did was feeling like he was protecting himself because you put your hand on somebody.
Yeah, you can't do
Man,
that.
that's don't say something to somebody, but when you go as far as putting your hand on somebody, you can't tell nobody how to protect themselves. I can't tell you how to protect you. You might cover up, you might run, you might do whatever. But when it comes down to protecting yourself, nobody can tell. Just like a person that get raped, everybody can't say, well, she should have get over it. Some people might go through some counseling. Some folks may go crazy. Some folks may go on with their life. But you can't tell nobody. This is what America needs to hear. You can't tell nobody how to defend themselves. When
Absolutely.
they feel like
Threatened.
you're disrespecting them, you're taking their rights, you're bullying them, you cannot tell nobody how to respond to that. I wasn't there. I don't know what I would have done. I'm being honest and I'm being real. I don't want nobody telling me not just to move from somewhere and it's raining. Then you come forward and saying,
I'ma move you.
I'm gonna pull you out. I'm gonna make you, force you. Save or no save.
Yeah.
You asking for some trouble.
You are asking.
And Bishop, you just said something, and I got a real. Just one last question for Dominique, and for those that are listening, and viewing, and watching us today, or whenever you watch it, what can we do with all the things that are going on in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, with our young people? What can we strategically put in place with the influences we have, power we have, the knowledge we have now of today, to reach our young people, to put something in place to where not only we can stop the violence, but give them something tangible to understand who they are as young people?
Well, first off, this answer is complex. It's like it's so many people that's trying to do this, but we talking about giving infrastructure to kids, but we ain't even gave infrastructure to our idea or preparation to what we're trying to do. Okay, so like if you're trying to go in these schools, you gotta have people, the curriculum.
Yeah.
The school districts have compliance to what they bring in there. If you bring in a proposal to any one of these corporate companies, you gotta have the resume, you gotta have the people, all the decks, all the different stuff, right? It's like people come out here and say, man, I'm formerly incarcerated, man, I need to have access and speak to the kids. Yeah. Bro, that don't work like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm formerly incarcerated, bro. That don't work that way, man. As a person who have programs in schools, I got people with EDs and MDs. I don't got none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not, but I'm smart enough to know.
I'm so glad he ain't on here coming like
MDs and EDs and all
he ain't from the hood. I appreciate that.
Them and hire them to be able to make sure that our program has the infrastructure, has the
credentials,
quantitative and qualitative approaches, the credentials to actually go through there, so that then I can sit here and say, hey, Bishop Eli, I need you to come speak with kids and blah, 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 and this, that, and third. See, I always tell people all the time, the programs I have in school, I don't be in the day-to-day of that. That's not my lane. Mine is being invited as a guest and going and being able to teach the kids and talk to them. But there's a lot of level of compliance before you are able to do that. So what I say the problem here in Dallas is that people don't want to pause and literally build infrastructure with each other. Everybody want to be the top Negro. Everybody want to be the top voice. And don't nobody want to be the Indian. Don't nobody want to be the what's got to be like, Dominique, you know what, Dominique, listen, man, I'm going to partner with everything you got, bro. I don't even want to do all that paperwork, all that stuff right there, blah, 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 this, that, and that. That ain't my field. And so my thing, when I get to explaining this to some of the people that want to do it, it be like, bro, you got to do this work before you do that. You know what I mean?
You know what, Dominique? That's what's real about this whole situation. You very educated. I don't care what that boy. I know they use your past against you, but
say that again. Say that again, Bishop. They try to use his past against him. They try to steer you away. And you said, I'm glad I came. You caught me off guard. I was expecting something different because they've been lying on your name. You are very intelligent and I have learned some things from you. Yes, indeed. They tried it. They tried it. Thank you for calling them out. Yeah. Liars, deceivers, and manipulators. They have the same type of spirit as the Metcalfs. When things don't go their way, they have a temper tantrum and start become a line on folk to assassinate their character. So thank you, Bishop Eli, for calling their asses out. Let's go. Here I was thinking I was the only one that was going to put it out there today. Hello. Yes, indeed, Haunter. Yes, indeed. I love it. Gotta love it. Give me a like, sir. Give me a like, sir. Who is this light? What is going on? Give my likes up. I love it. Gotta love it. Don't fall off. Try to use your past against you.
Being invited as a guest and going and being able to teach the kids and talk to them. But there's a lot of level of compliance before you are able to do that. So what I say the problem here in Dallas is that people don't want to pause and literally build infrastructure with each other. Everybody want to be the top Negro.
Because they haters.
Everybody want to be the top voice, and don't nobody want to be the Indian. Don't
Right,
nobody
LP.
want to be the what can I be like Dominique? You know what? You know what, Dominique? Listen, man. I'm gonna part
Dominique is the civil rights activist that's assisting Carmelo Anthony's family. He is Dooney. He's a entrepreneur.
That's what's real about
Hood.
this whole situation. You very educated on
The barber.
I know they use your past.
And he is a.
You about to.
Oh, hold on.
Because I don't like dealing.
He's a pastor. They all three are pastors in their own right. Hold on.
See, I always tell people I'm incarcerated, bro. They don't work that way, man.
Hold on.
This answer is complex.
Some folk may go crazy. Some folk may go on with their life, but you can't tell nobody. This is what America needs to hear. You can't tell nobody how to defend themselves when they feel like you're respecting them, you're taking their rights.
I get a code of conduct.
How to respond to that. I wasn't there. I don't know what I would have done. I'm being honest and I'm being real.
And it started with the twins.
Not just to move from somewhere and it's raining. Then you come forward and saying.
It started with the code of conduct should have been applied with the twins.
I'm going to make you force you. Save or no save. Yeah, you asked for some trouble.
You asked for a treatment.
And Bishop, you just said something, and I got a real.
You asked him for a treatment.
And for those that are listening, viewing, and watching us today, or whenever you watch it, what can we do with all the things that are going on in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth metro?
We are going to disagree. Pressure. You are trying to make one thing a point, and my point is keep your hands to yourself. Period. You would have never known he had a knife had you kept your hands to yourself. So your code of conduct, should have been in place, and you would have never known there was something in his bag. I don't care how you switch it, how you twist it. The aggression started with the twins. Then you saw what was in the bag. He didn't have it out for everyone to see. So the code of conduct was violated first by the twins. There's a period after that. It really is. You trying too hard.
What can we strategically put in place with the influences we have, the power we have, the knowledge we have to reach our young people, to put something in place to where not only we can stop the violence, but give them something tangible to understand who they are as young people?
Well, first off, this answer is complex.
They have already established it was not premeditated on Carmelo's. There was premeditated. Hold on. I'm glad you said that with the funny name, but you're going to have to come back and put a English name up there. How about that? I'm going to time you out. Change your name if you're going to speak over here. I absolutely believe it was premeditated with the twins. Yeah, because they intentionally singled him out. Especially now that I know a whole bunch of kids from different schools ran up under the tent. And please, please don't give me any indication that he was the only African American from a different school, his school, that was up under that tent, that ran to get up out the rain. So that means that there was several kids up under there that they did not know. So now I'm going to pose a question. How many of them was African American? And did he address everybody else that was up under that tent that did not go to his school? Oh, yeah. They in trouble. I'm going to tell you that shit now. I'm going to tell you what God loved, and he loved the truth. They ass in trouble. And guess what? Jeff Metcalf, he know it. The judge, the DA told his ass on the golf course with him, we're trying to find something with this kid. But believe it or not, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Giving infrastructure to kids. But we ain't even gave infrastructure to our idea.
Yeah, you speak English over here.
Okay, so like if you're trying to go in these schools, you gotta have people, the curriculum.
Yeah.
The school districts have compliance to what they bring in there. If you bring in a proposal to any one of these corporate companies, you gotta have the resume, you gotta have the people, all the decks, all the different stuff, right? It's like people come out here and say, man, I'm formerly incarcerated, man, I need to have access and speak to the kids. Yeah. Bro, that don't work like that, man.
That ain't going too far.
I'm formerly incarcerated, bro. It don't work that way, man. As a person who have programs in schools, I got people with EDs and MDs. I don't got none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm smart enough to know that I can get the ones that got the PhDs, MDs, and EDs and all that good stuff, right? Is being able to get with them and hire them. To be able to make sure that our program has the infrastructure, has the credentials, quantitative and qualitative approaches, the credentials, to actually go through there, so that then I can sit here and say, hey, Bishop Eli, I need you to come speak with kids and blah, 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 and this, that, and third.
He thought it was an easy target. That's why them kids said that they didn't think he had nothing in his bag.
Mine is being invited as a guest and going and being able to teach the kids and talk to them. But there's a lot of level of compliance before you are able to do that. So what I say the problem here in Dallas is that people don't want to pause and literally build infrastructure with each other. Everybody want to be the top Negro. Everybody want to be the top voice. And don't nobody want to be the Indian. Don't nobody want to be the what's got to be like, Dominique, you know what, Dominique, listen, man, I'm going to partner with everything you got. But I don't even want to do all that paperwork, all that stuff right there, blah, 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 this, that, and that. That ain't my field. And so my thing, when I get to explaining this to some of the people that want to do it, it be like, bro, you got to do this work before you do that. You know what I mean?
You know what, Dominique, that's what's real about this whole situation. You very educated. I don't care what that boy. I know they use your past against you, but you about the first person. Cause I don't like dealing with people that say they trying to help the community. I see too many hustle in there. I see guys get the funds, white and black, and they use it for their own benefit. You about the realest brother, and I don't say.
Ooh, like go ahead.
I don't blow smoke. I respect you so much, man, to the fullest. Because you are so real about what you feel. You don't switch lanes. And I believe that God allowed you to go through your process, even you've been in prison, did this, because if you never would have went
through that.
experience that you went through,
Absolutely.
you wouldn't know how to reach the kids.
Absolutely.
You never been through the things you went through. You saw both sides.
It was preparation.
You educated on politics. You educated from the street. It's nobody more powerful, more qualified like you. Now, I'm gonna say this here because I know preachers don't like me. But I see a lot of preachers, church, Christian. I don't know about the Muslims. I'm speaking for Christian. I wish a lot of them was like you.
Amen.
You're real, man. You go out there to the people. You're not scared to take the bullet. You're not scared to take the blame.
That's what's up.
I believe that if somebody,
That's why the attack is on you.
Man, we can turn Dallas. We can turn Dallas around like Paul and Silas did Jerusalem.
I agree.
Because you have the knowledge, you have the heart, and you're sincere. There's too many people, man. I hear people say it all the time. We losing our youth. They too far gone. Yeah. We got to stop talking about that.
You got to be about
that young man that did the shooting yesterday, and he said something. He said he's gonna be me. Y'all don't want me to die. Right. These kids, they in the mindset we can't snitch. That's one thing. Yeah. We can't rat. And so, but we have to have a system to where these kids, first, before I can change anything, this is my story. I told people I would have never did 15 years in prison if somebody would have pulled me. If I would have met a brother like you, and in the process of me in the streets, I think my life would have turned around. And so,
quicker.
But we have too many people doing it for their own self-glory. And we got people like you that will lay your life down. I watch you. I saw you. I saw you walk the street. I saw you get in the neighborhood. I see you jump up. I see you. If you got to catch a bus, you're going to catch the bus just to make a difference. And so,
bless him, Lord.
You're very important to Dallas, man. You should have been in America.
Don't tell nobody that.
I know. Some of these Maryland ain't worth 5 cents.
Didn't you vote for him? Didn't you vote for him? Didn't you vote for him, man? That man voted for him, man. That man voted for him, man.
What's that word they use?
Man, that man voted for him, man. Man, I thought, Bishop, I swear about 5 years ago, I saw you with an Eric Johnson shirt on.
Oh, okay. Franchise initiative. White on the inside, chocolate on the outside. I'm gonna keep it real. Come on. I'm gonna keep it real. Nah, my cousin ain't worth 5 pennies. But listen to me. One thing about me, I'm gonna tell the truth. But I'm looking at society. I'm looking at the thing that happened yesterday.
My mother said his brother always.
Because
my mother said his brother always the protector, exactly the bullying raised twins.
We have to have a solution before the problem. What do we give the kids before they get in this situation? How do we educate them? How?
This is the second brother. We heard one yesterday saying the same thing.
Where you mess up your life forever. And so I'm looking for a system because you gotta look at some of these kids, man. Their father locked up. Their mama wanna feel like she's 15. You know, a lot of these kids, they getting in trouble. I'm not talking about them got in an accident, but getting in trouble is because somewhere in the house they're lacking something. And so I believe that people like yourself, me, the priest, I think that doing the priest, I think that there needs to be a system set up where these kids that we know that getting in trouble or could get in trouble, could be a high risk. What you bring to the table. What you think I'm just going to ask you this question. What you think the church needs to do and ain't do? That's a hard question.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't want to deal with your peoples, man.
Let's tell the truth. Let them know what you just come on, tell the truth. Hold on, let me see what Dominique gonna say.
Well, I always tell people all the time, you know, there's a lot of people that invite me to churches, and I always say, if you can't get out in the streets with me, I can't get with you in the pulpit.
They disconnected to the street.
And so,
yes, indeed.
Man, some of these preachers, man, and listen, they all about, you know, it's kind of like they say what
keep
they
it
say.
real.
thus said the Lord, but I always push back at that and say, nah, you ain't saying what thus said the Lord, because I served the Jesus that literally was out in the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? They come against me. Like, and I tell them all the time this. I said, I asked a preacher all the time. I said, what was the first social justice movement documented?
Oh, they don't know.
I said, what's the first social justice movement that has ever been documented for humankind?
They don't.
Is the life of Jesus Christ.
So they would.
About the 12 disciples. Would this been the most scholar people in the world to be picked? You know what I mean? Who's the 12 disciples? That's the first social justice movement right there. His life, literally.
Yeah. That's why they don't like him, y'all.
And I get preachers all the time, man, all that social justice and human rights stuff. Well, you ain't for Jesus. I'm trying to figure out, because the tax collector, the murderer, all those things.
Pharisees, Sadducees, you're right.
All of those things. So the reality is that what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Speaking in tongues.
And see, Bishop, I think you trying to get me in trouble while you think. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to fool with all these people.
But the church is disconnected, though, Bishop.
The church is disconnected.
Because the church always have played. Let me say this, Bishop. The church historically have always played a powerful role in our communities.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but they done lost their way.
They lost. It's a disconnect. So we're trying to now,
have
from
a
a
big
church,
brother
outside the church, inside the
sisters.
church, from the
Okay,
street to
yeah,
the church,
yeah.
from the church to the street, is make a reconnect. Because even our young people, when they come to church, they don't experience the power or anything.
And I want to say this, that there are some people and there are some churches, but few. There are some that have understood the assignment.
Gotcha.
And the role and all of that type.
Shout out to them churches.
Dominique, let me say this.
Y'all come hook up with us, because we about to do something.
I'm not finna kiss up for the church. I'm not finna do that. I'm for the king. I'm gonna be straight up with you. That's why I like it. I'm not knocking the church, but who you think he is? One of the things that I learned as a pastor when I got out of prison, the first thing pastors used to tell me, they don't tell nobody you go to prison.
Morgan, first of all, that's not what this conversation is about. Second of all, I think all lives matter, absolutely. But that still doesn't mean I'm okay with somebody threatening or harassing me. All lives matter until you threaten me. And at that point, I don't give a shit about nothing. How was that for you, Morgan Maniac? All lives matter until you put your hands on me. Until you threaten me, harm me. Yeah. Then I don't give a shit about you. I'm going to put you to sleep. I'm going to follow the law, and I'm going to lay you down to sleep. How about that? Did you like that? Yeah. All lives matter until you threaten me, touch me. Yeah. Because that means that you mean me harm. That means that my life don't matter to you. Yeah. Yes, indeed. God says, obey the land, the laws of the land. You say, okay, since you want to go there, let's go there. I've been waiting for somebody to go there. The Bible says, obey the laws of the land. And the law says, keep your hands to yourself. If not, yeah, the law say you can unalive them. So I disagree. The Bible says obey the law of the land. Yeah, now go play with somebody else. Have a good day. You tried it. Yeah. The law says you can be unalived. Yeah, you can be unalived. And I can stand my ground and take you out. Okay? Thank you very much. That was a good Bible little lesson right there. Because they tried their luck. They mad at me. Yeah, it says obey the law. That's his grace. That's his forgiveness. But the law of the land says stand your ground. And I'm going to obey the law of the land. I can't do nothing about it until you touch me. But the minute that you don't obey the law, I'm going to obey the law. And the law say I can unalive. Yeah. If you touch me, threaten me, harm me, hurt me. Yeah, that's what it say. She said, Laquita says she gonna stand her ground. Now, I don't have anything else to say. Yeah, that's Texas. Exactly. That's what we talking about. Where you from? I'm not speaking about nowhere but Texas. It's the law of the land in Texas. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So go on with that stupid stuff. You just like to talk. You just like to troll. But you're going to be the type of person, just like Hunter, that's going to try your luck. And somebody going to get away with taking your life because you want to play them type of games. Keep your hands to yourself. You probably a beater. You probably like putting your hands on people. You don't like following the law. Yeah, you probably running from the law right now. Yeah. Go play with something safe. Go play with yourself. Put both your hands on it. Yeah, and do something with it. Hello. Whew. Okay, y'all. Y'all say bye to Morgan.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to fool with all these people. You know what I'm saying?
Do all lives matter to me? Y'all want to be able to bully and hit and do whatever y'all want to do with people and get away with it.
Always played a powerful role in our community.
I believe everybody, let's be clear, I believe everybody who is okay with the bullying or trying to justify this young man from defending himself for doing it by the law of the land, I think y'all have problems with your hands. I think that y'all don't like it because that's who y'all are. See, I think that in you, y'all are hunters and Austins, and that's why you justify it. Yeah. Yeah. You see a mini you.
Disconnect. So we're trying to now, from a church, outside the church,
and document it.
It's just simple. It's very simple. Keep your hands to yourself. He would have never known that there was anything in the bag. One, if he hadn't grabbed it. Two, if he had not put his hands on Carmelo, period. Y'all want to skip past that part. And so now that we finding out that he was not the only person up under the tent from a different school. Now what? Well, he shouldn't have had a knife in his back. You would have never known that had he not put his hands on him. You would have never known that. Would have never known what was in his bag. So because he had it in his bag, that means that somebody has the right to put their hands on him? Oh, yeah, but, because he had it in the bag, that means he wrong. Y'all crazy. It's 2 left feet. No. You should have never put his hands on him. Should have never grabbed his property. Should have never. He did not have permission. And it cost him his life. May he rest in peace. And it's just a bottom line. It's just the bottom line. Keep your hands to yourself.
And so the reality And so the reality is
No, it was not an intent.
And listen, they
I don't even think he knew. I'm gonna be frank, honest with you. I don't even think Carmelo knew where he stuck him at. I don't even think he knew. He just stuck, and it just so happened to be in his heart or near his heart, because we don't know exactly where it was, because there has not been an autopsy. It's absolutely senseless. But somebody broke the law and somebody followed the law. And I don't care nothing about a rule, because laws supersede rules. And if we're going to talk about rules, again, the Hunters broke the rules before Carmelo did. Every step of it. I don't care how you turn it around. I don't care which angle you come. They started it. Whether it was breaking the rules or breaking the law. And y'all want me to find something wrong with Carmelo. He didn't do nothing wrong. Some people want people to have an issue with him for standing up for him. Because of his past. So you want me to have a problem with who is helping this young man with his civil rights, that they don't even teach him in school no more. They don't want you to know nothing about him. And so you want to do a character assassination on the person who is helping them with their legal civil rights. Something is wrong with you. Something not only wrong with you in your head, something is wrong with you in your heart. I try to be sympathetic, have empathy that he did not help someone loved one. But it don't mean that he don't know what he's doing, and it doesn't mean he is a fraud or a scam. And I am so happy Bishop Eli took it upon himself to go to the meeting with the Anthonys, got a chance to interact, get to know him personally, and is able to see these two hood dudes right here. I mean, this is Dixon. This is Dixon. This is Son of South Dallas. I mean, deep off in now. Giving him his accolades. Rainwater had one of his activist friends on the platform that they thought this guy was going to talk negative about Dominique. And once he realized who it was that they was trying to character assassinate, he was like, oh, no, that man, let me tell you what, that guy, Tyron, said that he has a passion. That's what he said about Dominique. We saw that passion the other day, though, yesterday. But he said he had a passion. He said the same thing. You really care. The brother was about to tear up. Yeah. Somebody, I don't care what his past is. That ain't who he is today. We got to do better, people. We really do. That was a whole different type of hate. I'm gonna tell you for real. And it was very distasteful, put a very, very bad taste in my mouth. I mean, it really exposed that person's character. I mean, it's way worse than what I thought it was. It's way worse than what I thought it was. That was probably the worst thing I have seen this person do since they've been on YouTube. Very I see why you have a ton of kids and husbands done died and very toxic. I see why. I absolutely see why. And I absolutely see why he didn't want to fuck with y'all. Cause you toxic. And you think it's cute. You think it's content. Very bad timing.
They all about, you know,
Please.
it's
Life that I watch you. I saw you. I saw you walk the street. I saw you get in the neighborhood. I see you jump up. I see you. If you got to catch the
What's
bus,
up with bet?
bus just to make a difference.
What's the bet?
And so,
Pressure.
You're very.
What's the bet?
to that man.
How much we betting? I don't want to bet no pennies. I want to make it good.
I know. Some of these girls ain't worth 5 cents.
Didn't you vote for him? Didn't you vote for him?
Let's make it good, Pressure.
That man voted for him, man. That man voted for him, man.
Oh, I don't want to go back there.
What's that word they use?
Man, that man voted for him, man. You voted for him, man. Man, I thought.
How do we educate them how to not let nobody play you off the street, not let nobody call you be in a situation where you mess up your life ever? And so I'm
$100 he won't get off on
some of the
self-defense.
kids, man, they father locked up. Their mama wanna feel like she's 15. You know, a lot of kids they getting in trouble.
Okay.
I'm talking about done got in an accident, but getting in trouble
Okay.
is because somewhere in the house they're lacking something. And so I believe that people like yourself.
Okay, can I add to the bet?
I think that doing the priest,
That Hunter get picked up on charges? Can I add to it? That Hunter be picked up on charges. Hello? Pressure, can I add to the bet? And add that Hunter is going to be picked up on charges. Yeah, support the platform, please. I don't know why this light.
I think that needs to be a system set up where these kids that we know that getting in trouble or could get in trouble, could be a high risk. What you bring to the table. What you think I'm just going to ask you this question. What do you think the church needs to do and ain't? That's a hard question. Come on, keep it.
I don't want to deal with your peoples, man.
If my people that are
I
called,
always tell people all the time, you know, there's a lot of people that invite me to churches, and I always say, if you can't get out in the street,
there's a lot of people who invite you to represent what they got going on that you can peep right off the bat that it's a bunch of bull crap and all they doing is lying.
with me, I can't get with you in the pulpit.
Hey, how are you doing? Hey, James, how are you?
He just said something. And so the reality is,
he just said something.
The reality is, man,
he just said a word. He just said a word.
They all about, you know, it's kind of like they say what they say. thus said the Lord. But I always push back at that and say, nah, you ain't saying what thus said the Lord, because I served the Jesus that literally was out in the streets.
He was in the streets.
He was in the streets.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
they come against me.
Like, and I tell them all the time this. I said, I ask a preacher all the time, I said, what was the first social justice movement documented? I said, what's the first social justice movement that has ever been documented for humankind? Is the life of Jesus Christ.
Ooh, and let me tell you something else he said that was palpable. When he talked about them 12 disciples, and all of them had a background. Huh? They had a background. Huh? They wasn't squeaky clean. They all had an issue or problem. They all had a measure of sin. Huh? Huh? Yeah. Is somebody trying to bring up your past? Yeah. Oh, but I forgot. They don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in God. I forgot. That lies the problem. That's the root right there.
You know what I mean? Who's the 12 disciples? That's the first social justice movement right there. His life, literally, was the first social justice movement. And I get preachers all the time, man, all that social justice and human rights stuff, well, you ain't for Jesus. I'm trying to figure out, because the tax collector, the murderer, all of those things.
Pharisees, Sadducees, you're right.
All of those things. So the reality is that what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Speaking in tongues.
And see, Bishop, I think you trying to get me in trouble all you people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to fool with all the people.
But the church is disconnected though, Bishop. When we trying to reconnect,
I get you.
Because the church always have played. Let me say
A
this,
reconnection is what we
have
need.
always played a powerful role in our communities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but they done lost their way.
They lost. It's a disconnect. So we're trying to now, from a church, outside the church, inside the church, from the streets to the church, from the church to the streets, is make a reconnect. Because even our young people, when they come to church, they don't experience the power or anything.
And I want to say this, that there are some people, and there are some churches, but few, there are some that have understood the assignment.
Gotcha.
And the role. And all of that type.
Shout out to them churches.
Dominique, let me say
this. Y'all come hook up with us, because we about to do something.
I'm not finna kiss up for the church. I'm not finna do that. I'm for the king. I'm gonna be straight up with you. That's why I like it. I'm not knocking the church, but they respect that. Who you think he is? One of the things that I learned as a pastor when I got out of prison, the first thing pastor used to tell me, man, don't tell nobody you in prison. Nah. You ain't gonna die. You don't do that. I be listening to you on the radio. Don't tell folks you been in prison. Man, before I be fake before I want to die. I'm not into all that. That's the reason why I don't get in the church clique. That's the reason why I don't want to hear a person preach a sermon, ain't living a sermon. You doing more Christian fight in the walk than most people that's behind the pulpit.
Facts.
Jesus didn't show the people by what he said. He showed the people by what he
did.
He went where he was.
Absolutely.
Man, let me tell you something. A lot of people ain't gonna listen. We're living in a time now. They think preachers is jokes right now. I'm telling you. But people need an answer. People need to see.
They need an answer.
When I see a brother get beside me, and you come to my rescue when it seems like nobody else there for me, there's no more hope, there's no more people. Somebody like you show up. It makes me want to say, you know, why this brother care for me? Just like I saw how he went for that young man. He gonna open up to you. You know why? Because you don't have no motive.
That's right.
You see, a lot of people, they can help you, but they got a motive. Right. I don't want your help because you got a motive. Tough situation like this here shows us who you are.
Correct.
Tough situation like this here, you can't play both ends to the middle. It is what it is.
Did you study it in Texas, though?
As a Christian, as a pastor,
did you study it in Texas?
I feel sad for the young man that did the shooting yesterday. I feel sad for all of them. But at the end of the day, man, we got to start speaking in tongues and dancing and shouting and educating our people. The Bible says my people perish because of lack of
knowledge.
And the church gonna have to get out of the four corners, and the pastors that run around here want
Bishop,
man, you got
the folk gonna have to get out of tradition. They're gonna have to get out of tradition and get into a spiritual relationship with God. Get out of the tradition. Yeah. Get out of the tradition. Yeah, you can be in tradition but have no relationship with God. No.
get dirty too. Jesus got dirty. You got to get beside Dominique and say, hey, man, you're doing something. Let's try to. Let's work together. Let's
how did Pressure? How did Kyle? Okay, hold on. Okay, so Pressure, you say, please don't move the goalposts. You have just said that you have studied. I don't want to lie. Self-defense. No. Hold on. You said you have studied. Where is it at? Where is it at, Pressure? You have studied. Hold on. Let me go over here. I study self-defense law. Okay. If you have studied self-defense law, right? And you said there's a wrong way, there's a right way and a wrong way to defend yourself. Please don't move the goalpost on my question. I just want you to answer this question. What did Kyle Rittenhouse do right to get acquitted? And they said self-defense. What did he do right? Please, just answer that for me. Since you say you know the self-defense law, you got it all. You know everything there is to know about self-defense. And he ain't gonna get off with defending himself after giving somebody a warning 2, 3, 4 times. What did Kyle Rittenhouse do that the jury, everybody in their mama let him get off on self-defense? Please, that's all I want you to answer. I don't want to hear nothing about no rules. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. This man done shot him. He wasn't at No. No. Where is that at in the book of law? Where in the law? I need for us to pause for a cause. I need for you to give me that scripture in the book of law where I can go and pull it up for my tea sippers. That it says in the book of the law of self-defense that you cannot defend yourself at school or school function. I need to look that up right now. I'm going to pause for you to tell me where in that book does it say you cannot legally defend yourself by law, not rules, not regulations. You said, you studied, you are a connoisseur of the self-defense law. You are a guru of the law. I need for you to tell me where we, the tea sippers, can look it up right now. I got $1,000. Bet that you can't. I'm waiting. No code of conduct from a school. I want the book, the law. He said it's right here. I study self-defense law. He studied the law, not the rules of the guideline of the handbook. Where is it at? Where is it at? In the law. Don't give me no code of conduct, no 5 rules of school. I want it where the law said you can stand your grounds everywhere in the state of Texas as long as it's not at a school or a school function. They can beat you down till you black and blue while you are on school grounds, a school function. And it ain't shit you can do about it, but let them beat the fuck up out of you. I need to see that law. Where is it at? Where is it at? We gonna wait. Let me go and put my cash app, baby, in. Let me go and put my cash app right here, right now. Let's go support your ass indeed. I'm waiting on pressure. I'm waiting on pressure. He said, he studied, I studied self-defense law. And you cannot defend yourself. You cannot stand your ground while you are on school property or a school event. Your life pressure. Send me my money, man. Send me my money, man. I done moved my little old tablet. I done moved my little tablet to the side. I'm up here. Yeah, we gon' let's go, baby. I'm getting all ready for you. I got my hand ready to type. We finna look this up right now. Yeah, we gonna call a spade a spade. We gonna learn today. Baby. He tried it, didn't he, Vicky? Y'all, T-Sippers, Patricia, he tried it, didn't he?
Your butt in front of CNN.
Support the platform pressure.
And shine like Mike Jones. I need somebody that's going to say, hey, man, here's a situation. And I believe that this is what we need to do about it. Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and any one of y'all can answer this here. Why do people say our young kids, there's no hope for them? I hear that everywhere. They too far gone. Where does language come from?
Like,
I don't want to deal with no teenagers. They too out of control. What are we getting to?
Pressure, you sure can't move that goalpost. I knew you was gonna be off when I said don't move the goalpost.
Children is the work with our teenagers now is a ministry, and if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. You know what I mean? If that ain't your ministry, that ain't your ministry. Just don't pretend. You know what I mean?
Don't pretend. Don't get him out.
But the reality is that you gotta understand the foundation of the problem that we are dealing with here in the 21st century, right? And so the reality is some of the biggest problem that we are having is we currently are literally seeing the grandchildren of the failure of the 19th.
Hi, Scott Norris. Hey.
And the reality is that I'm the generation, 36 years old, born in 89. I'm the generation that you took the father at the home.
The 80s babies.
Now, I'm the generation now that you took that father out of the home. Now I'm having kids. Now, this is the grandchildren of that crime. Of all those failures of statistics, right? You took that black man, you took all of those social economic, you took the mother in some cases, you took so many different variations.
The root.
You locked them up, right? And we know the statistics of it. Destroy the foundation. You destroy
This is how you get to the root.
Piece by piece, right? So now, half the time you go into school and you talk to a teacher and you be like, they'll hurry up and say the parents worse than the child.
Facts.
You know what? I'm sorry I called you. You know what I'm saying? Let me just sit here and call. Let me just deal with your child. You know what I'm saying? Because baby, I don't know how in this 5 minutes of this phone call, I told you everything that your child did, and you didn't reverse it on me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Baby, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just
figure out a way.
Deal with Lil Ronnie tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. Don't even act like I called, baby. You know what I'm saying? And so the reality is
That's the truth.
That's some of the problem. It's a real ministry work.
Right.
But you got to understand the foundation and the root of everything that we are addressing in society, particularly to black people, is that we got to understand the root causes. It's just like the same conversation of what we're talking about with wealth or anything. If you want to talk about how black homes are declining from housing, well, you got to go back to the foundation of how they started redlining our community.
Absolutely. And see, you know, and it's interesting that he's saying this because if y'all know me, if I don't know if I have expressed how sincere I am about the root. I mean, it's a couple of people who know how I am on here about the root. You know, that root is very important. And some, like the young lady who tried to sabotage him yesterday, her mentality, there's a root to her mentality. There's a root to that spiteful, conniving, manipulative way. I mean, that was just such an ugly taste that was left in my mouth. But this lady has several kids. Several. And although they may, you know, I'm sure they're going to say everything perfect about the child, but there's a root, baby. There's a root. And some of these mothers are, I'm going to say, at least a good 55 to 60% of the problem. I'm just going, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but if we're going to keep it real, because some of these men don't have a relationship with their kids, their sons, because of the choices that the mama made. Are we going to keep it real, y'all? So if we're going to get to the root, the tree of life and growth, reproduction is a female. That may be a little too deep for y'all. That may be a little too deep. But everything that grows, rebirth, you know, fruit. It's feminine. Yeah. Ladies, we got some work to do. The men do too. But this is not just a man problem. We got to take ownership of our ways, our mindset, our self-justification. Save the kids. Save the kids. I commend the Anthonys. I commend them. This witch hunt right now that they are trying to put out there and poison the minds and views of Carmelo and his family, that's only because they can't find nothing. And that's a beautiful thing. So all them tactics that a big pressure think is going to work for them, it typically wouldn't work, pressure. And I typically would be somewhat going along with you had this kid been a thug, had this kid had a background, but he don't. And he was not the aggressor.
It's the issue if you don't know the source or the foundation.
And you know, that is so real because I realize that if you can help anybody,
I don't care about them suing the school, pressure. You stuck on the school. I'm stuck on the law. We in two different places.
What didn't happen? What's going on with you? And I think that
You must be a school teacher or something.
We have want to take the shortcut of dealing with our youth, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a risk. Our kids is more challenged than we was.
Yeah, you stuck on school. I'm stuck on the law.
A lot of things shaping their mind, their ideal. They got this thing they call "don't tell." You're a snitch, you're a rat, and that thing that's
No, they don't. You a lie. Pressure, stop.
And so we have to reprogram their mind. We have to put it in front.
Now
of
you
them,
making that up.
where they can make a decision before a problem comes. And I asked that question just because I understand the long suffering. I understand the challenge you take, the persecution. I'm surprised nobody ain't threatened you by now. And try to come after you. I guess they know better.
They already done it.
Well, they know you ain't scared. But the thing is, they know he ain't no Martin King. He's similar. He look like Martin King. He a mix of Malcolm X and Martin King. He's a mix.
And I say, can I say that?
He's a mix, and because he can get, he can talk, but he can get ratty.
Well, I said that, I made that reference because of today, in this century, in 2025. When you look at the civil rights movement, even Malcolm X or Dr. Martin Luther King, they started a movement amongst the young people. The movement didn't start, marches didn't start unless the young people got involved. So we got to get the young people involved and get them fired up because can't nobody reach young people like young people. You get what I'm saying? And so it was the young people that was at the front of the civil rights movement when they had the marches because they wasn't scared to die. One thing I heard that young man say, and I'm gonna wrap it up right here, is that he said, I'm tired of seeing us kill each other. If I have to do this so we won't kill each other no more, then I had to do this. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do it, but I did it. He posted it right after that incident happened. And I say, that's the statement he made. And so
Somewhat.
I'm saying that to say this.
Yeah, he said that.
That the young people even want to change. They want a difference. So we have to create something as the leaders.
Now, he not going to get off on no self-defense. I'm going to tell you that now.
You that are watching, you all can comment, get in the group chat, let us know.
He is not going to get off with no self-defense.
This is not the end of our conversation. This is only the beginning because we're about to start something that's going to change the root of the problem, starting with our young people, because you cannot expect a difference if you don't change what was in the past. And if you keep doing the same thing, you cannot expect a change.
Right.
It's a fool that expected to change and you're still doing the same thing. So it's something that where we're disconnected to our young people to where we have to become reconnected. So I think the resources here on this platform is that source, and we need you all help because we can't do it by ourselves. Okay? And so, Bishop, before we end, I would like you to pray before when you get through, and I would like you to pray it out too. If that's okay. Okay.
Look at the brothers.
And I know time is at hand. About the situation on yesterday, Dominique, are you involved with that, and what you think that need to be done, man? Because I don't want this to turn around. So every time somebody feel like they get bullied, they use this as a reason or a scapegoat or a solution. I'm not saying I don't know how people respond to bullying. What do we need to set out there for kids that feel like they have to act out, protect themselves? I know there's no perfect answer to nothing. You got to deal with everybody in their own situation. What information maybe we need to put out there, just in case somebody
Keep your hands to yourself.
doing something crazy.
But let's
Right
listen.
now, somebody thinking about, hey,
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
maybe this is the only way people gonna hear what I'm trying to say. What you think about that? That's a hard question.
Because he wasn't trying to kill him.
It's a good question.
Man, there's more questions than answers for that type of stuff. That's a very complex question, and I'm gonna be the first person to say I ain't got all the answers, right? But I do have the willing heart to sit at the table with so many people to balance out, to get those things that truly can work.
Thank you.
Right? I always tell people all the time, the work that we do in the schools is in a pilot program for a reason. It's meaning that we are evolving every day, right?
Right.
To be able to adapt to the evolve. I'm trying to get into a 15-year-old and 16-year-old and 17-year-old mind.
Mm-hmm.
That take a process.
Oh, wow.
We
rebuke, cancel, and delete every scheme and negative
and I think
meant
that there
of
needs to be
evil.
more dialogues, working groups.
You think Collin
with
County gonna
like-minded
leave Frisco
individuals
ISD holding
coming
the bag?
together.
They trying to figure out a way right now, pressure
I
to
think the real part
find
is-
some kid
is
that's
that
gonna say,
themselves. You know what I'm saying? But
I missed that. What do you say?
that ain't no overnight solution. Even if you think what they doing today and you got all the knowledge of it, it's gonna change tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Really. And I want to know what trends them to change it, what do this, it's so many different layers of complexity of the issue and the root issue of what we are dealing with.
The adults need to change first. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think the adults need to change first. Set the tone for the change, and then once the kids see the change, they will respect it in the people. I mean, they will respect the adults and listen. Take heed better. I don't think that some of these grown folks and parents can't reach their kids because they out doing some of the most outlandish stuff, saying and doing all of this in front of them, and they can't reach their kids because can't nobody reach them. So they're a product of their environment. So I think the adults have to set the tone for real, and not just with your mouth, with your actions. That's why it's blowing my mind to hear some of these folk that I know good and dang well pop off in front of their kids. I know they do. They threaten in front. They threaten you. Yeah, you touch me. And then when they do, when the kids do some stuff, hell, they justify it with them. I mean, so to me, it has to start with the adults, the renewing of the mind, so that we can effectively teach by example first, and then by mouth, because you can say anything. You can say, don't lie, don't steal, don't do this. And then they see you doing it. Well, I thought you said I can't lie. Do as I say and not as I do. I mean, that type of stuff. The apple don't fall from. Now, Precious, you get your $100. Everybody do need to be on the same page consistently, though. You can't just say it with your mouth. You gotta show up. You have to, even if you have to set it as a goal to change your way of thinking, your way of moving, redirect, cause it's horrible out there. I mean, in that period, ain't even a black and white thing, cause as you know, as sad as it may be, but I ain't gonna lie. Oh boy, coming to that function yesterday showed where the twins got it from, feeling like they can do whatever they want to. They don't care. They entitled. They got that putting his hands on people. Yeah, come on now.
Working groups with like-minded individuals
Like-minded.
coming together to really get I think the real part is that people are trying to operate in this work isolated.
That's it. You hit me by isolated.
By themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that everybody want to be the king. Everybody want to be the what's called. They want to be the chief.
One thing I like about you, I'm listening to you. How I know you for real and so sincere. You keep saying work together. You ain't saying my program. You ain't saying listen to me. You said the magic word. You said it's a process. I don't know everything.
Let me say this quick. If Dallas ISD told us they're gonna give us all the comprehensive high schools, which is 23, DeSoto gonna give us Lancaster, Cedar Hill, Duncanville. We don't even have the capacity to hold that. We don't have the capacity. We don't have the capacity of staff to do that. So that means what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to be able to find a way to hire individuals that have like-minded programs to be able to say, hey man, listen, we got the contract, man. Listen, you wanna come do this right here? I don't care. Go over there to Lincoln. Go over there to Carter. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have.
You don't have enough manpower that's like-minded.
Where people, we talk about education. We talk about 2 + 3.
Entitled behavior. Entitled behavior because we write automatically and we privilege. Yeah. Yeah.
All that science.
Yeah.
Do they have a system set in school where people?
So that would be what he trying to say is that the like-minded, that will be able to be effective in going out to reach and reconnect and make a effective change. Yeah, that's why I said it's the adults. It's the adults.
Problem at home, and I know you come to school to learn, but you can't stay focused if mama smoking weed and daddy's selling dope.
I can answer that question,
Lord,
quickly because I know we gotta go. But real quick, it's this: everything requires funding, resources. When you have a legislature that literally is defunding education and
it's gonna get worse.
Proper resources. These programs are the first thing that goes, right? And so the reality is that it's a lot of us that sit here and say, we want to do the work.
Do they have a program for bullying?
Yeah, they got a program for all that. But the part is this: if you want your program, the way Dallas ISD or any school district pay, it's in a net 30, net 60. So if you put people on that site, do you got the resources to front their salary for 2-3 months? Because of how to pay. So the industrial complex of doing that work it's difficult.
Yeah.
And you gotta have somebody who understand that. It ain't just about going on the campus. If you don't have the infrastructure to stand, And that took me having to work with people who are former teachers, administrators, executives, people who understand school business.
Gotcha.
Yes, a whole lot of people wanting to do this, but they don't understand school business. And so you gotta get with
They
somebody.
think they do, just like Pressure think he know self-defense law. He say he studied it, but he can't tell me where the chapter that say you can't defend yourself at school. You talking about a pressure.
Be get open. But if you running around talking about I got this support letter and I got this and that and third, that ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen, man. You know what I'm saying? It just go.
Have the I's and T's.
It just go from there, man. Go pray us out.
Hey, I'm gonna pray y'all out. Listen, I want to say, Dominique, Patrice, I thank God for them being here. Without a shadow of a doubt, yo. We here because we love y'all. We here because we want you to understand truth ain't always what you see in social media. Truth is based on facts, and you gotta be patient. The Bible said, "Don't judge nothing before time. What done in dark will come to the light." All we asking you guys, give the young man an opportunity, allow the truth to come out. And I do want to say that if you have a child that's being bullied, or you have a child that's going through something, call Dominique. I ain't gonna say
Call all of us, because we about to do an infrastructure. We about to develop something.
Definitely, I want to say that it ain't over yet. We just proud to have this man and both these men on this broadcast. Realize Street Star. But before I get out of here, I want to pray for y'all. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. We thank you for these young men. Most of all, God, we want to pray for Dominique, God. We pray that, God, that you go with him, God, that you give him the resource, God, the money, the ideas, the people that will come with him and not look at him, God, according to the corner mind, but look at him as a man, God, that's trying to change the system of the mind of the people that is broken and blind and see. And God, most of all, God, nobody know it all. God, we trust you, God, that you give us the ability, God, to come and sit down, God, and find a solution if we can change one. But God, I just pray, give him favor, God, beyond words, and let it be you, be behind him. And Father, if a man fight against God, he's a foolish man. And I thank you for this broadcast. Pray for Realize Street Star.
Amen, y'all.
Woo! In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
America. May God bless the president and the United States of America.
No, man. This is
You on the school board? Thank you, Lachelle. Thank you. Yes, Jesus, we can do it. Yes, indeed, we can. We can. Look at these. Look at them. Brothers coming together, talking, communicating, smiling, laughing, joking, trying to help, trying to be a positive influence, trying to reach the kids, trying to redirect and reconnect. And no weapon formed against none of them shall prosper. May you fall to your knees and pray every time you try to rise up against with an evil heart and mind. Yeah, we got to do better. We got to do better. Dang it, this the picture I need. Right here. Y'all, let me say this right here. It ain't looking good for them. I don't care what Pressure say. The more that slips out and leak out and they talk about, the more I hear, and it sound like, early on, he said that a lot of them kids that are witnesses is agreeing with Carmelo's account of what happened. And I'm telling you now, It ain't looking good for Hunter, Austin, and the Metcalf family. What they saying? Somebody want him dead. Oh, yeah, he got death threats, y'all. Y'all know the Metcalfs had a swatting, whatever they call that, where the police had to come to their house. Somebody sent them laws to their house. Said they had
well, black and white sports fans.
God is not the author of confusion.
Lost his life at the
Yeah, they called, they had the, I don't know why they call it swatting. But somebody sent them people to their house last, now.
Racial.
Oh, has become.
Now, the representative for the Anthony family has definitely made it a racial issue. Jeff Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's father, didn't want it to be a racial issue. But we saw where Dominic Alexander, the representative for the Anthony family, went out there and blatantly made it about race. He actually tried to...
Why are y'all, why are they, these black folk, what is race to them? Why are they trying to act like it wasn't race related? At the point that the man, listen, at the point that Metcalf said, this is not about race. If it wasn't about race, at that point, he made it about race when he said the word race. But he's only said that because he didn't think that his kids, his sons, had did anything wrong. And he was going to want a full, the law, because he's a law-abiding citizen. He was going to want it to be pushed to the full extent of the law. And so he was getting ahead of it and saying, this ain't about race. Okay. Well, hold it. Why did you come out and start saying it's about race? And now you're feeling like it's about race. Now you're feeling some lawful unjust because your son is being deemed the aggressor. And somebody took the stand your ground law and applied it. Now you want to blow up the whole, now you feel like it's an unjust. You can't have it both ways. It's been about race. It was about race when he said it's not about race. That's what most racists say. When people start saying, I'm not a racist, somewhere off in that pudding, you're a racist. Because there would be no need to justify something. It shouldn't have ever really came up, especially not at that time. But you knew it was about race. And the tables are turning. Because remember, up until yesterday, the Anthonys was getting threats. I'm sure they still are, but guess who's getting them now? Guess who's getting them now? Guess who's getting them now? Hold on, let me get it up before I go. And I ain't never heard of yeah. So they sending they sending them people to his house. I'm trying to find a good article. Hold on. Let me see, WFAA.
Attention shoppers.
Y'all hit the like button.
Aldi, they're #1 in everyday low prices.
Breaking news and an update on the deadly stabbing in Frisco. Frisco police just confirmed a swatting call was made tonight to an address belonging to the victim's father. Now that's a prank call designed to bring a lot of police to a scene. Tonight, Jeff Metcalf confirms to WFAA he wasn't home when it happened, but he did arrive about 5 minutes later. Now, this is new information, and right now we're working to learn more details. But earlier today, everything stopped and heads turned when Metcalf showed up to a news conference called by the suspect's family. Tonight, Matt Howerton has a desperate plea from KARMELOANTHONY's mother.
They came to speak for the accused. Jeff Metcalf came for his son. The father of Austin Metcalf surprised cameras at a press conference in Dallas Thursday, waiting for the mother of KARMELOANTHONY to speak for the first time. Anthony, 17, now charged with murder, out on bond after telling police he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense. Metcalf's father asked to leave the press conference, and then it began like this.
The father being at this press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Metcalf telling WFAA he was just there to listen.
I'm not here to create a disturbance. I'm just here to stand by and witness this press conference.
He shook the hands of officers before leaving. Since he was asked to leave the press conference, we asked Metcalf what he thought about those remarks. Thursday night, he told us he's not talking to any media right now.
Our family has been under attack.
Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, did eventually speak.
The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
Emotionally denying her family has used any money from a GiveSend GoFund that's collected over $450,000. The internet has suggested otherwise and has flooded Hayes' family with threats, she says.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom.
At the presser, it was also revealed that Frisco ISD has moved to expel Anthony weeks before he was supposed to graduate. An accusation of murder on school property results in an automatic expulsion per the district's code of conduct. Anthony could appeal, and an advocate suggested that may happen.
Thank you, and God bless you.
The room emptied when the presser ended, but the temperature around this case didn't drop. In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
I want to hear about all the cops. Did somebody get all the cops? Oh, I don't want to see Nancy. Okay, y'all. I don't know. Did I answer questions about the shooting? Yeah, she's so trifling. She's so trifling. Y'all, okay, I'll be back. Pressure. Do you need my Cash App? You need my Cash App? Huh? Before I go? Big Pressure. Big Pressure, before I go, you need my Cash App? Bye, y'all. We're watching YouTube like everyone else, still trying to intimidate and silence and threatening. Please come back later. It's Friday. Okay, I'm gonna come back. $ AUNTEAFEE. All capital letters. You can add a little extra to it if you want to. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Ain't gonna tell nobody. The pressure lost. Okay, yeah, I'll be back. What time is it? Okay, I'll be back.